Conventional combine concaves cause damage to small grains and contribute to significant crop loss over time. Luckily, Bauer-built concaves has perfected the design for John Deere and Case IH equipment. Call them today.
The Pullers Championship is presented by a team of people with a commitment to the sport of pulling and a need to give back to the sport they love. The Pullers Championship was not created to be exceptional. It was created to be the exception.
Let's make some noise. Good running. John Deere out of Motorsports, Iowa coming up. We got one right behind you.
Yesterday, how did you do?
I got second place. I lost by 4 feet.
And today?
I was 700 pounds late because I didn't really know the weight of the tractor, and that was the first time I ever pulled her. And today? Well, let's talk about today. I put her in the 16,000 pound class. I put her in third gear. They were all 280, 290. One was 310, maybe 312.
And you were?
I put her in at 370 feet right in the sand pile. The only mistake I made, I didn't put her right in the registration booth with the girl.
Hello, friends. Welcome to Let's Grow Pulling Live. Every Monday night, we moved it up to 7:30 because I'm getting old and I like to go to bed. And this East Coast thing is a real thing. Because when you talk to the West Coast guys after this, it gets late. So Jason Schultz, Kenzie Teeting from a disclosed location in Kentucky.
Undisclosed
location.
I'm not going to disclose where you're at.
We went to Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Great event. Shout out to David and Melissa Holbrook. They're going to come on tonight in about an hour. I had a great weekend. That place Saturday night, Craig. If everybody would have sat down Saturday night, there wouldn't have been a place to sit. But there was always like 500 to 600 people kind of walking up through the vendors and stuff like that. So I don't know if you've ever been to Murfreesboro, Corzine, but it's pretty legit. So
I've not been there. Everybody talks about what a great event it is. Like everybody, we're getting ready for farm show and trying to haul grain and stuff. So we haven't made that work, but I would certainly like to. That's on the bucket list.
Cool. And then Mike Idle, our resident teacher.
Yes.
The mic on the mic. And we have a new logo too. We copied the No Practice Podcast guys and got our cool logo, but I bought it from somebody else. I didn't use Chase's guys, Chase and Adam. And nobody can ever be those guys. So
this is how I knew I'd finally made it, Jason. I'd finally made it in the world of pulling, broadcasting, and media when I had my likeness turned into a cartoon. I was like, this is how you know you've broken on and hit the big time. So
like if we did one with Corzine, we could give it hair and stuff like just for men or whatever.
I'm telling you. And don't look too close. I just came from softball practice, so I'm all sweaty, so I'm really shiny. I'm looking extra shined up tonight.
Oh, man.
Awesome. Well, Craig, thanks for coming on tonight.
You
have a famous brother-in-law, Adam, and a beautiful wife that's kind of famous too, but you're kind of the third wheel. I mean, but you do it well. You play it well. Of course,
I am. I've accepted that. Back in the day, I was Craig Corzine, and now I'm Ashley Corzine's husband, and so I'm okay with that. I you know me. I just soon be in the background anyway, so it's all good.
Yep. All right, Mike. Craig's your hero, so I'm going to mute myself. And
this is fun. I've been looking forward to this. Craig is a top-tier performer, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. Craig Corzine, a two-time National Farm Machinery Show champion. But, Craig, they were just talking about your family, talking about Ashley a little bit. Mm-hmm. I was doing some cursory research here. She beat you to that National Farm Machinery Show championship level. She grabbed a win in 2018. Your family's no stranger to pulling at Freedom Hall. What's it mean to be pulling there again this year? And what does it take to get it done and to win multiple times like you guys have?
It is. I will be honest with you, that place was my holy grail. We talk about all the places we've gone, places been in a lot of fantastic places we pulled. But yeah, I grew up, we showed cattle there. And then to be able to pull there was like, oh my goodness, this is pretty amazing. And what's funny is now my kids grew up pulling there. And the first time we took a steer down there, we're walking down the tunnel with this calf, And my kids are like, "Oh my gosh, Dad, this is where we pull." I'm like, "Yeah, how cool is that?" So it is I'm in that place, my holy grail. We had a lot of tough luck there. We were knocking on the door, and Ash got it done on the 50th, and it was an emotional night. I like I said, I grew up going there. I always wanted it, and we got it with her truck on the 50th, an extra special. So yeah, and now we rotated to the tractor. We got really close again with trucks. I got Cole's Isaac got me. I thought we had a really good chance. He was first hook, turned it down Saturday night, and came back last and got me in my red truck that year. We flipped to the tractor, and the tractor was just almost built for that place. Maybe is a lack of better terms. It really liked it there, and we're sad to not have a tractor there this time. But honestly, like you said, it's so much work to get ready for that pull. And that truck you see in the background, I feel like the last couple of years, I probably didn't do it justice. Really focused on the tractor these last few years. And so I'm excited to go. I always love going. I always look forward to going. And I'm probably extra excited to go this time. Like, hey, we're really focusing our efforts on this truck. And I mean, how two-wheel drive trucks are. I mean, it's anybody's game down there. Everybody's got phenomenal equipment. I've told several people that truck can get it done. It's as good as anything out there. But if the idiot in the seat screws up, then it's all for naught. So,
well, that's funny you say that, because as I'd mentioned in an article I wrote not long ago, there for a little bit, I did feel everyone calls it the house that Masterson built. But I think the Louisville City Council was taking it under consideration to rename it Corzine Hall there in the late 2019s and early 2020s. Does it feel good? The name of the truck is Rekindled, which of course has to do, you guys have this kind of firefighting and this kind of fire theme in a lot of it. But is that kind of double entendre? Is this kind of like a rekindled love for the two-wheel drive truck class? I mean, does it feel good to kind of go back to where it all started for you as a puller, but I imagine kind of where you and Ashley had a lot to bond over early on as well?
Yeah, 100% right. I mean, everybody knows my fire department roots. And when we were building this truck, we were thinking of names. And, when we get paged out for a structure fire and we don't quite get all put up and it rekindles, you get paged out for a rekindle, the same structure lights on fire again. And that just seemed fitting for this truck. It's like we have relit the fire. And what happened was we were hardcore with the tractor. We were running all the mod. We were running some 2-engine stuff. We jumped to the unlimited class and we're putting screw blowers on it. And we were really invested in the tractor. And then COVID hit. And we went right down the road. All my good friends, the Nelsons and Toby and Toby Moore and Jared Steckler, they all showed up at this little pull that COVID year. We had a county fairgrounds that there on Labor Day said, heck with it, we're going to have the pull anyway. And it was one of the biggest brush pulls you've ever been to.
Sure.
But we had an absolute blast. And literally that pull was 10 miles from my shop. And we were leaving the next morning to go over to the drag races. And we were driving over there. And I told Ash, I said, we got to put a truck together. I miss that. As much as I absolutely love the tractor, and there's no replacement for the tractor. The tractor is just phenomenal. But you're right. I miss that. I don't want to say two-wheel drive truck is simple, because it's far from simple. But it's such a different. It's a whole different dynamic than a tractor. The maintenance on it is obviously much less than a tractor. You're not working on the tires near as much. But it's such a puller's class. You really have to do your job as a puller, because everybody does have the same equipment. And, you're always shuffling weights and changing the tune up and changing gears. And that, you're right, that was our roots. And Ash and I had countless hours, like all pullers do, up and down the road and the going all over the country with two-wheel drive trucks for so long, and then jumping away from that, and I couldn't wait to get out of the two-wheel drive class. I was tired of being at Bowling Green and there'd be 60 some trucks. That takes a lot of fun out of it for me,
Yeah.
But there's the other side of that is, man, if you win, you beat 60 trucks. Holy crap, So it was refreshing to get back to the truck. It's a good piece. Ash has done phenomenal with it. I've been lucky enough to have some success in it. I miss the tractor. I'm not going to lie. I miss it. But everything our kids have going on, whether it's show cattle or softball, this better fits us. I can take this. I'm lucky enough with Jeremy Nelson close, and even Toby when Jeremy's not there at some of the state pulls. I can throw that in the trailer and go state pulling and get somebody to help me, where the tractor isn't that way. It takes a couple guys and that's half of it, or less. When the tractor, you get home, man, there's so much to do. It's 99% of the work is at home. Got the tires off of it every Sunday night, or Monday morning, and going through the rear end, and you haven't even gotten to the engine side of it yet. So the truck is refreshing. It is such a skill class, and we're thrilled to be back in it.
That's a lot of fun, and I think you touched on something, and I really noticed it when I went to work for the Outlaws this past summer. The two-wheel drive truck class gets a bad rap as here comes another one. Oh, there's 60 of them. But it might be the single hardest class to win at any given point in time, because while there is a big number, there's also a big number of really top-tier performers across all the associations out there. Is it even speak to what it means to be pulling against all of those pullers out there, whether it be from PPL, Outlaw, NTPA, ITPA, regional hooks at Freedom Hall? Tough to win at Bowling Green. Is it even tougher to win at Freedom Hall in the two-wheel division?
I think it is. Not to discredit Bowling Green at all in the numbers there, because it does become they have changed the track where it's not quite as much of a numbers game at Bowling Green like it used to be. But Freedom Hall's tough, man. I mean, everybody, let's say Bowling Green, everybody's been going all summer, and and I'm guilty of this. If you're going all summer, you've been going hard. You may be getting a routine and you forget to look at something, and oh crap, we didn't make it out the end because I missed a throttle cable, or just something silly. It seems like it's the silliest, smallest things that get you. You go to Louisville, everybody's fresh, everybody is on 12 o'clock. All the equipment has been gone over 10 times or more, and everybody's on their A game. It is hard. Ash has got a ring at Bowling Green. I've got a couple of rings at Bowling Green, but we've got one two-wheel drive win at Louisville. It's hard. It is tough.
That's coming from a driver who has 2 wins in the modified division. So, that the proof is kind of in the pudding. Now, I'd be remiss, Craig, if we didn't talk about second-degree burn for a little bit. I know that it's not in your stable anymore, but that tractor was so captivating to me when it came out, because we started getting in this trend in modified pulling where everything was very purpose-built, and gone were the days of anglers and banners where maybe you'd put an engine on or maybe you'd jump divisions. Well, that thing pulled light unlimited, and then all of a sudden it was pulling modified, and then all of a sudden it was pulling unlimited, all within a short span. What was it built to be? Was it built to do all three? And quite frankly, did you kind of steal the keys from Ashley too? Didn't she start off in the driver's seat with that? Tell us the history of that tractor.
She did. So that tractor was brand new and went to Freedom Hall. Brett Berg built that tractor, and he took it to Freedom Hall and it broke a spindle. And it went straight back to Brad Corporal's shop, and they took it all apart and he put it back together. They put 5 engines. I think he ran the mod, but then they put the 5th engine on that thing. And Saturday night at Toma, Wisconsin that summer, it broke a rear end, and it broke the rear end so bad that it locked up, and just the motion of the tires, it tried to peel that rear end housing out of that chassis. Back to Brad's shop it went again, and they cut the rear end clear out of it, and they slugged it, put a whole new rear end in it, and Brett ran the rest of the summer. And if everybody remembers his big fire show at Bowling Green.
Yep, 2018, so, absolutely. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So the same thing. It broke the rear end, zinged the engines, rods come out of an engine or two, breaks a fuel line, huge fire show. And I had been talking to Brad Corporal already about building a chassis. And if everybody remembers, I was already in partnership with Steve Bollinger on the Money Pit tractor. And it was my front end and Steve's chassis and back end. And we won a Grand National Championship in the Light Unlimited. We were loving that class. That class was just such a fun class, a little short on numbers. So we thought, hey, you know what? We're tired of the two-wheel drive thing a little bit. Let's build another Light Unlimited. And so I was talking to Brad, and my phone rang Monday morning after Bowling Green that year, and Brett Berg says, "Hey man," and Brett and I are good friends.
Sure.
And I said, "Brett, are you good?" He goes, "Yeah, my feelings are hurt more than anything." He goes, "Tractor's fixable," but he said, "I'm done." He goes, "I'm done with this SQ stuff. I want to put a big rear end deal, the 120 stuff in the tractor." And he said, "I'm not cutting that rear end out of that tractor again." He goes, "I've talked to Brad." And he goes, "I'm going to make you a hell of a deal on that chassis if you want." So we did. We worked the deal out and we put it together. And Steve Bollinger had gone down the road of buying engines for my brother-in-law. And so we were kind of at that point to ready. Steve was ready to, he'd been in the V8 thing enough now to know that, yeah, that's the direction he was ready to go. It was just kind of natural. We built the tractor and I just crew chief. We threw them both in the trailer, and we went all summer long. The two of us. Of course, that was the summer Larry passed away, which made a pretty big damper on the year, honestly. Yeah. But Ash was doing a phenomenal job, and she crashed the tractor at Bowling Green. We'd been running 1871s on it, which was a much tamer setup than screw blowers, and it just wasn't there. So we put a couple screw blowers on it. We went to Bowling Green, and that thing was ready to hunt. And she would have won the ring with that thing, except she hit a spot in the track. I think she hit the brake just a little hard, and it crashed the tractor. Otherwise, there was nobody going to cover. I mean, she had that much speed. But
this was just under the Light Unlimited setup, right?
That is correct. And that Light Unlimited is a big mini rod. I mean, you got a lot of power per weight, and it's a ride, man. It's a ride. And so we finished out the summer. And we built the tractor with the idea that if it was 2 engines, she was going to drive it. If it was 3 engine, I was going to drive it. Not knowing if we would ever do the 3 engine, but we thought, what the hell? Let's send in for farm show. And I think Louisville was maybe a little short on tractors, but and those guys are great down there. We've always had a great relationship with all the guys in the pulling committee, and we were lucky enough to get in. And we kind of wung it a little bit. We didn't really know exactly where to be on the gear, and we had a good tune-up, obviously, from two-wheel drive stuff with 1471s. So we set it up that way, and magic happened, right? I mean, the tractor just loved it, and the tractor was so light, we had a front-end weight advantage by a ways. I mean, we were the closest tractor to it is Steve's tractor on front-end weight, and Ricky Rose can get close. But that was in a time where we were getting so much speed that, man, you had to have the front end pasted on the ground, and we could do it with that tractor. And everything, the stars lined up. The stars lined up. We doubled down, winning Wednesday, winning Saturday night. And I'm telling you, that other than my kids being born, that was the highlight of my life for sure.
I was sitting in the stands in 2020 when you made that pass. Little did we know that was going to be one of about only 2 pulls we were going to get to watch that year. And right. I was looking down there watching Dave Bennett do his interview, just thinking one day I want to be a part of this world. And I had to chuckle to myself because Dave, I think his exact words were, "Take a breath, Craig," because I don't think I'd ever seen a more excited puller than when you finished out there on top 2020 at Louisville with that. But you hit on something interesting. Not a lot were running the 3-engine setup at that time, but boy, oh boy, that's kind of the new rivalry in this class. And a lot of people are liking the 3-engine setup.
They do. I take it as a huge compliment. There have been other tractors set up identical or very close to our setup because we have had the success. Steve's tractor, when we were running it as a Light Unlimited, and he still does it now as a 2-engine tractor. He's got the gearbox all the way up against the clutch cans on the front 2 engines. Because our tractor did well enough, he came home from there and said, I'm gonna have Brad make a gearbox just like yours. So he did. Russell Phipps's tractor, which will be at Louisville this year, is Jason Gibson's old one. That tractor, same way. Gibby got tired of us beating up on him, and he took that tractor to Brad and said, "Hey, I want to set up like Corzine's," and they did, and they just fired it a couple days ago. First time, it's for a 3 on it. It's ready to go. So, and there's others out there. Brad Benedict. Those guys. They've got a tractor that was set up very, very similar. So it's a good setup. It's made the 3-engine thing really come to life. I think guys like it because a 3-engine tractor is so much easier to take that 3rd engine off and still run 2-engine. And you summed it up. You're right. That year we went to Bowling Green and we ran the mod and the unlimited. And when we went, we honestly had full intentions on trying to run the light unlimited, the mod, and the heavy unlimited. And it just didn't quite work out, but because of the schedule. But you cannot believe the number of people that came up to us and were like, wow, this is so awesome to be like the old days. We just don't see that anymore, where guys take engines off and on and run multiple classes. And I think that is probably, you're right, is what is unique about that tractor and that setup is you can run multiple classes and be competitive. Now, I think the sleds have changed a little bit to where that's a little tougher to do. Donnie Sullivan and I were just having that same discussion the other day about, man, you can be really competitive in multiple classes, but if you want to come out and really, really win in one class, you're probably going to have to focus on one class or the other, whichever direction you choose to go.
Sure, absolutely. That makes sense. And let's get to a couple of comments we've got in here as well. I do want to backtrack and hit a couple of them. I saw Dustin Corliss, a good buddy of mine down in the Outlaw Circuit, wanted to compliment you on your great looking ride there. Of course, Dustin's going to be on his swan song, his final time, and his T-bucket going down as he's got that sold at Freedom Hall. And then, of course, we've got another really intriguing question right here. Anytime there's V8s, 2-wheel drives, or mods, Logan Stevens, he's asking it, would you ever go into the mini rod division?
Well, that's a double-edged sword. Obviously, I'm not a small guy, and we all know that mini rod pulling now is what I feel like the 3-engine mod thing was a couple years ago. Front end weight is a premium. Those minis, you've got to keep the front end down on those things, and man, they're making so much power, and they're turning the tires hard, and Chad's tires are working fantastic for them, so they're really putting the power down, and so they got to keep front. So is Craig going to get in a mini rod? No, I'm not.
Well, let me ask you this, because it's too much fun not to ask. If you climbed into Adam's mini and he climbed into your 2-wheel drive, who walks away finishing higher at the end of the night?
Oh, Adam for sure. Adam for sure.
Or does Ashley outdrive both of you?
Well, I don't want to get the cart in front of the horse, but Adam he and my mother-in-law are putting a couple new tractors together, and it has been discussed a little bit about Ash jumping in one of them.
This is where you stop him and say, "Breaking news!"
Well, I knew your bubble was gonna pop up. I knew it. I don't even have to do it because I know that. Yeah. So tell us about it, Craig.
Well, Ash, like Adam and I were talking. I mean, if Ash jumps in the seat, there's another 50 pounds on the nose of one. Man, that's huge. And she is that kind of driver. She, if you watch the video of that truck last year, I think she got a little throttle happy, and it knocked the tires off of it, which is so easy to do in a truck. A mini, you can get after those things. They're glued. They're like the tractors. They're glued pretty quick, and I think it would suit her driving very well. I'll tell anybody that jumps in a mini, man, you can get hurt in one. You really need to be a good driver and know equipment and what to do, because I would hate to see anybody get hurt in a mini rock, because they're dangerous. They can get you. They get you. And Chase would tell you that. My brother-in-law would tell you that. Brian McDonald would tell you that. Any of the guys that are just the fantastic drivers are out there. They've all been on a rough ride at some point.
Craig, I think this might be the final question I have for you before I give you a chance to thank everyone. This has been a ton of fun. You've been a great interview tonight.
Oh, glad to do it.
You married into the Kester family, your partnership with the Bollingers, your best of pals with the Nelsons. I mean, you're surrounded with really, really, notable and skillful pulling individuals. What's it like just to be around such great pullers? What's it mean to you to have that many people kind of in your corner and in your stable?
Oh man, I mean, where do you stop? I mean, you summed it up. I mean, Steve Bollinger drug me all over the country, and we went everywhere pulling, and we got on so many different tracks and learned so much driving on his tractor. Well, and even before that, just working on them, and I was intimidated to work on a pulling vehicle when I was that age. And Steve's like, no, get in here. You know what you're doing. Let's go. And same way with the driving. When it came my turn, when he said, hey, I want you to drive, I'm like, man, I don't know. And he goes, nope, you work on them, so you're going to know what to do. You just will. And then dragging around with my father-in-law and Adam for so long and helping them, and obviously being close with Jeremy and Jared and his family, and actually the very first two-wheel drive truck I ever sat in running was Chase Richardson's. Chase came up, hey man, I want to come up. Yeah, I want to come up and go Illinois pulling. And he came to my shop and he stayed up here. We have a stretch of a longer run of pulls, and he came up and he's like, jump in there. I want to fire it up, and you need to move it around. And that kind of got me hooked on the two-wheel drive thing. And so you're right. Brian McDonald is a very close friend, and he's been a huge help to me, and we bounce ideas off each other about different things other than even pulling. And I mean, you're right. And my brother-in-law, man, I can't say enough about him. He's been, here he is younger than me by a long ways, and he's been a mentor to me on the V8 stuff. I mean, he's really taught me a lot, and and been a lot of phone calls. Hey, I burn a piston, need to put a sleeve in. He's like, hey, you got this. Just dive in there. This is what you need to do. And he's really given me a lot of confidence on just jumping in there and just do it. And back to what Steve told me years and years ago, it's just equipment. It's just equipment, right? Just jump in there, you work on it. And if you don't do it right, you take it back apart and you do it the right way, and the only way you learn is by getting hands-on. Blessed beyond what I can tell you of being surrounded by phenomenal people, and then to do this with my best friend. Ash is phenomenal. I'm lucky, not a lot of husbands in pulling can say that their wives love pulling, right? And she's been my driving force sometimes. Sometimes I'm like, you know what? Nope, we're staying home. No, by God, we're going. She's like, get out there. I got this. I got the kids, and our kids go too. Our kids love it, and so that's why we do it.
Well said. Well, you mentioned the Nelsons, and I'd be remiss. I've got that Outlaw banner hanging behind me. Hopefully we might see you back at Rock Valley again someday. That was a neat thing you guys did. Best of luck at the farm show. Good luck with all your ITPA endeavors, all the sports you guys are involved in. I know you're invested with your kids and with all their cattle showing. Craig, just want to say thank you, and I'll give you the floor for any closing thoughts that you have.
Well, thanks again. And you're right. I don't know if you can see the cabinet behind me. The angle isn't quite right, but I will tell you, winning the Rock out there, I don't know if I can get that cabinet back there, has all of our Louisville, our farm show trophies, our biggest wins. And when I came home from Rock Valley, the Rock went right there in the middle of them. That was a phenomenal pull. I loved being there. I can't wait to go back. No disrespect to Bowling Green, but if I'm going to make a road trip on that weekend, I would like to go to Wisner. Wisner is on my bucket list, and so we're going to see if we can make that work. I think I might be. I don't know if in the majority, but I think there's a lot of pullers that are in this mode of, hey, you know what? We don't make a lot of money doing this, and we have a lot of money invested, so we better have a good time. And I think a lot of guys are kind of giving up on hunting those those points races down and be like, hey, you know what? I want to go to Wisner, and I want to go to Rock Valley, and I want to go to Toma, and I want to go here and hit, I want to go to Hillsboro, Wisconsin. I think guys are looking for just hanging out and seeing the people, because pulling is that's why we do it, right? Is we love pulling, but we love the people more, that we do it with. And so I think a lot of guys, I can't wait. I'm planning on going west more. We don't have a toter home right now. We're building a house and a new shop, so we kind of are putting our assets that way. But I can't wait to get a rig and we'll be back in the tractor. I know somebody popped up there asking if we'd be back in the tractor. We will have a tractor again someday. We will. But I'm super excited. We got one daughter getting married coming up here in March. I got one that's a sophomore, at Illinois. And then the next two are pretty hardcore softball. And I think if we keep on the path, we'll maybe get to do some traveling someday, watching them play on a national level is our hope. So, but we will be back in the tractor deal someday.
Hey, that's perfect. Thank you so much. This was a ton of fun.
In the meantime, we want to go try to win Louisville with the truck. Our focus is the truck.
Well, if anybody can get it done, I think you come from the right group of people with the right people around you. And, you're a little bit more than just an idiot in the seat, like you've been saying. Thanks for coming on tonight. Best of luck.
I've done plenty of stupid stuff in the seat, right? It's just no different working on it. When you screw up in the seat, you better learn from it. So,
like you said, it's only equipment, man. It's only equipment.
Right.
So,
that's right.
Yep.
That's right.
Hey, thanks, Craig. I appreciate it, bud.
You bet, guys. Thanks. See you next week.
Michael,
what's up, Mr. Schultz?
Nice interview, buddy. You did well. You did well.
We need like a 3-hour block. I think I got to about 4 of my 400 questions. Cool, dude. Funny. Yeah. Hope everything goes well at the farm show. What do we have next, Mr.
Well, this is our new format. Mike is going to find us a guest every Monday night at 7:30 Central for the first 30 minutes. Then we're going to dive into our promoters. Then at the 9 o'clock hour, we go west with MLM. So been talking to the Satsuma people every single Monday. It seems like for quite a while. Let's bring on Matt Hart. We're going to leave Mark back and make up a little bit, the promoter. Matt, did you see the forecast for this weekend, buddy?
I did. My goodness. Smile couldn't get any bigger, and it just did. It's 83, 84 degrees. It's going to be just fine. And look at this guy.
Yeah, speaking of smiling, as a promoter, the weather is the one, the absolute one thing you cannot control, right? And it stresses you out. Mark called me yesterday, and, talked to a bunch of pullers in Murfreesboro this weekend. Matt, that had heard about Satsuma. They're thinking about coming down. I feel pretty good about the 5.0 class and the 3.0 class for some numbers, all the classes, but I know those are the two newer classes, if you will, to Mark's event this coming Friday and Saturday in Satsuma, Florida. So excited, guys. Kelsey, how are you, buddy?
Good. How about you guys?
Good. Thanks for coming on in. We got 30 minutes blocked off, so let's take our time, Matt. You don't have to talk fast. We can just sit back and relax.
He only talks fast.
Mark can vouch as the night gets later and the drinks start flowing. It doesn't slow me down any. And you know that too, Jason. We tried that out. We're so looking forward to this, guys. I'm glad the weather's working out. I know Stacy's got to be smiling from ear to ear thinking about that too, Mark, which is going to make your life a little easier this week.
A lot easier.
If there ever was such a thing. How's things looking down there?
Real good. It's 66 degrees right now at 9 o'clock.
It's 66 degrees in my shop right now. We got the same shirt on, so I'm trying to get myself ready for this. It looks good, and all systems go right. No rain in the forecast for the week, and just pull.
Yep, talking mid 80s Friday and Saturday both. So
perfect. I'm also going to throw some flowers towards Mike because he did a great interview before too. Nice work, man. That was good. I got to listen to it this time, and
just talking, pulling, and just enjoying it, being a part of it.
Yeah, there's your flowers.
Check that out. You must not be in Illinois.
Nope.
It's good. So I'm gonna let Mike keep doing his interviewing work because he's that good at it. What questions you got, Mike? And I'm actually gonna mute and shut up.
I'm just pulling up some more data because it's just fun to keep an eye on the developing narratives. You know, pulling is nothing if not a narrative and if not a show for everybody. And you know, my end is with the Outlaws, of course, and I can see that 5.0 class, like Jason was talking about, continuing to grow a little bit. Looks like Couches have signed up. I think they were the ones that said they kind of wanted to make sure everything at Murfreesboro was good to go, and if it was, but it looks like the High Cotton and the Cotton Picking Deer are planning on coming down. And the app, folks, if you're using the Outlaw app, you know, that just shows who has registered. That they will, coming from experience, that thing will double or triple the day of the event. So just keep an eye on that as well. What sort of feedback have you guys heard from pullers? Have you had some over the past 2 weeks that have said, oh, you know, we're definitely coming? What are the rumors on the attendance, and just are they getting excited yet is kind of what I want to know.
Henry Smith, talked to him today out of Michigan. They were putting oil in the last one today, load them up, and headed this way tomorrow with 3 of them out of Michigan. They're not signed up yet, but they will. So
is that
right?
Is that
so,
2 more pro stocks there, Mark?
5.0 pro stocks.
Okay. Yeah, and the couch is pretty much committed to it at Murfreesboro. Chuck Hull, I think we can thank Chuck Hulsworth for beating them with Fly You Fool there.
He's here already. Yeah, he's already down here. He
won Murfreesboro Saturday night, and they said, no, we're going. I said, it's a good track, boys. It's a good track. So, and you know, and Mark, like, you know, I talked to you yesterday, and there was a couple pullers that said, you know, my tractor's tore down. If I would have known we had a 5.0 outdoor hook, I would, you know. So this is good. We get this going and get it going a little bit. So,
well, Ron and I were talking on Outlawed Live last week about how you get your foot in the door that first year, and then a lot of pullers, like you're saying, Jason, were like, oh, well, we can put this on the calendar for next year. You know, we can make this something that we see, and you start building, you know, not just, we talk a lot about the 5.0 and the 3.0 class because it spills over into our neck of the woods, but everything that's going on down there. And I think we've already seen that even a little bit with some of the mods and some of the other classes that have come down there, and you've seen how much they've grown over the years. What kind of numbers are we looking at in some of those right now with the with some of those V8 classes down there as well?
I think, I'm not sure about modifieds. Had a guy call. He's trying to get his together. That would make 5 if they can be down here with it. I know we're gonna have a bunch of blown minis and a lot of natural aspirated minis. 2 classes of those, big block and small block combined. There's 7 5,200-pound 2-wheel drive trucks committed to coming. Mm-hmm. I believe we're around 10. Yeah, we're at 10 mod turbo / super farms committed coming. That'll be here. So we're looking at probably, I think you'll see probably 80 to 90 hooks each night.
Yeah, that's the better way to answer that question too, because I went to several pulls this summer where, you know, there might have been 8, 9, 10 classes, several classes, and 10's a bread and butter number, but 5, 7 can make for a very fan-friendly show. I mean, if you're rolling, you know, a double-digit number of classes out there, and you've got 25 hooks per class, you know, as a promoter, you want your fans to have a great holistic experience. You don't want them to say, well, okay, it's 12:30 and our favorite driver hasn't even made it to the track yet. So that 80 to 100 hooks, that as a promoter, that's got to make you very happy, I imagine, right?
Yeah, it does. You know, if we can do a 2.5-hour show, that's really about perfect in my eyes. No one really wants to sit in bleachers much longer than that.
Hey, this is a fun question from a fun driver down here. Mark Ulmer out in Minnow, South Dakota. He says, what rules or group is the light super stock class going by? He's got a couple of different vehicles that he campaigns out there in the light super world. So what are we kind of hedging to on those?
Yeah, NTPA, PPL. Okay. I think Outlaw is the same. It's the general light super, component. Or you can run a ag chassis if you want, and we'll give you some weight.
Yeah. Mark would fit those rules if he came down, so it'd be pretty neat. I know.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think Hales' light trouble is coming down. That's a diesel light super. I talked to them at Murfreesboro this past weekend. So,
Yeah, and I believe is
Phillips.
that other one still coming
from
from Tennessee?
Yeah. Oh shoot, let me think. I talked to so many people this weekend, Mark. I'm sorry.
Larry Phillips.
Yeah, they're from Kentucky.
Yeah. Oh, Kentucky. Sorry.
With the insanity and the extremely insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if Mark brought his, because he's got a couple of ag rear end light supers, then he gets spotted a little bit of weight. Is that what you're telling me on his side of things? Cool.
Yep.
Interesting.
Absolutely. Yep.
That's fun food for thought. When you get people, I mean, we're talking about a pull in South Dakota, or we could talk about a pull in Florida, and we've got a driver from South Dakota inquiring about rules. To me, that's a good sign that this pull is moving in the direction we want it to be moving. So,
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, 66 Matt, would be a heat wave, I think.
Matt, when are you heading down, and what are the vibes you're feeling for getting ready to this pull?
Yeah, just getting excited. This is my one vacation a year. I get my 3 days off, and I get to go hang out with the family, as it were, which is tractor pulling and having a great time. I fly down late Thursday, and it's going to be good. It'll be late Thursday. Got a little drive from where am I coming from? Sarasota. So going to adventure through the darkness of Florida that night and be ready all day Friday to do whatever I'm asked to do until it's time to start making noise with Ron and Dan. I'm excited to meet those guys officially and have some fun with them because, boy, I can actually shut the mic off and just listen and enjoy the show. But, Mark's flying me down, so I guess I'll make a little noise. But, yeah, a lot of good vibes. I know a lot of guys from up home. I guess I'm a natural, but I don't know if that's a good thing or not. I'm trying to figure that out every day. But anyway, all right, I'll divert real quick. Something came up to me. Yeah, look at that weather. I mean, you can't help it. I'm thinking, man, is there any way on Sunday I can find some water to sit by? And I think I will. But it's not going to matter because we're going to be on the beaches of Satsuma, which are the great track, Friday and Saturday, 6:30.
The clay beaches. Let's make
right,
sure
the clay
no sand confusion there, because that's what everyone's always afraid of.
Yeah, they're afraid of them pockets of something, and there's not. It's going to be good. And Mark sent me that picture last week of the dirt getting piled up and ready, and it's looking real good. And looks like the lasers and the old operator still has it in him, so he's got a good-looking track out there. It's coming together pretty good, huh, Mark?
Yes, it is. Yep, it looks real good this year.
Good deal.
Matt,
good deal.
Matt, if a fan was on the fence, if a fan was like, okay, I'm thinking about it. You've got my curiosity. You've got my attention. If a fan was on the fence, what would you say to them about this event? This is an event you're passionate about. What would you tell them to convince them to come on down?
Well, it's fun. If you're local, you don't get to see this anywhere else. Right. It's a different experience. The amount of horsepower, per pound and per square inch is as good as it's going to get anywhere. It's as good as top fuel drag racing, and it only costs you $20. If you're an adult, if you behave like a kid, but you're still adult, it's $20. Kids are going to be a little bit less. There's drinks available. You can go in the pits and hang out and see this iron up close and personal. I think Crag ended his interview really well, and he kind of talked about how points races are still important, but I think people are more involved with the people and the pull and seeing each other. And we've talked about destination pulls, and Mark and his family have made this a destination pull because the fun that it is. And fans that are coming to watch, whether from Georgia, I have friends in Georgia that I think are going to drive down and come see us, which would be great. Friends from Illinois are coming down, Wisconsin, of course, but the Florida, the Alabama, the folks that are coming, it's you're seeing iron here that's local, which is fun because maybe you got some skin in the game, but then you've got, mini rods coming from all over. And like you guys mentioned, the pro stock tractors and light super tractors asking from South Dakota, if it's not this year, maybe it's next year when they hear 65 degrees at night and see Mark in a T-shirt. That's got to be pretty appetizing.
And speaking of skin in the game, this with the way Full Pull Live's involvement is going to be, I'm not going to be able to be down there, but I cannot wait for Friday night regardless, because I am going to be able to watch through Full Pull Live on Friday and Saturday night. And Jason, we've got wagers and games and all sorts of interactive ways to participate with that, don't we? He's giving me the big thumbs up. I think, Jason, you're muted.
Yeah, there will be games up on fullpullpicks.com as well, or at the Full Pull app. And those will be posted later this week.
So all new ways to interact with pulling. So, Matt, I asked Matt if you were a fan and you were on the fence, what would you tell him Mark, what if you were a driver? What if you're a driver kind of sitting here right now saying, okay, this caught my attention. I'm thinking about coming. I can't make up my mind. What would you tell a team or a driver that was thinking about heading down there right now?
Well, if they're from up north, it's pretty nice when you come down here from being 15, 20 degrees and you get out of your truck and you can put on, t-shirt and shorts, and you start thinking about pulling in the summer and how fun it is. And, you can do it in the winter too down here. So I've been coming down here doing this for 10 years, and it's really my favorite place to come just because it's so different from being in the Midwest and how different the fans are, because they really don't know a whole lot about it down here. They have a lot of good questions, and, at home, everyone's just kind of knows what's going on, and, you don't really talk to many people in the pits, but down here it's a whole different attitude. They like get so excited about it. I mean, the crowd cheers. It's, I've been going to polls since I was little, and it's just a different, it's just different down here. It's really good.
Matt, what's it like announcing to a group of people who, we go to the county fairs, and when I went out on the road this last summer, I would see the same fans oftentimes multiple Saturdays in a row. And Mark's got a good point. When the sled reset's coming, how a certain guy's going to do. What's it like interacting with fans down there who might be experiencing something like this on a different aspect than what we do up here in the Midwest?
Yeah, it's fun. As an announcer, you start to fall into patterns sometimes. I mean,
Sure.
Most of the stuff I come up with is probably about a half a millisecond before I say it, which is kind of scary. But that's the life I live. But with that, though, there's some parts of your shtick, right, that are new to the folks that are out there. They haven't seen it. They haven't heard it. Something goes on, you make a comment, and the crowd gets into it, and they're laughing or they're cheering, like Mark said. I mean, they're really listening. It's funny when you're in the box, and this is the other thing. This is the only announcer stand I've been in that has air conditioning, and you need it in February. It's pretty cool, especially with all the hot air coming out of my mouth. But, you're hanging out there, and you're comfortable, and you make a comment or something happens, and you actually see all the people in front of you in those bleachers turn around and looking back at you, giving a thumbs up or, a little high five to the guy sitting next to him or the gal, and just enjoying themselves and having a great time and keeping that show moving. So like Mark said, it's a different atmosphere, but then it's on a track and with conditions that feel like home. So the pullers,
Sure.
You've got an excited crowd that's never seen it before, but you're with an experienced group that's going to give you a full 400-foot track, and you're going to have an outdoor pull that's going to equate to a middle of July type pull, and you can come have some fun and enjoy the sunshine with us.
What if some of the pullers that haven't been there before, or that hadn't been there before, what were some of their takes away? Did they walk away and say kind of what you're saying, Matt, like, oh man, this was, different atmosphere, but boy, oh boy, once we got going, it's just like pulling at home? Or what did they say about it, or what brings them coming back year after year? And this could be Mark or Matt. You both have experienced it, I think, from the pits and the crow's nest.
Go ahead,
Mark.
man.
I'm going to let you take. Okay. I was going to let you take that one. I was going to let you take that one. I talk enough, but Mark, you go ahead and divert on that one, because you've been in the seat of this thing, and you talk to those guys directly. They're down there already this week. Are some of those guys that are down there, they've been there before? What's the feedback?
Yeah, it's just, like I said, the excitement is just different than in the Midwest. We, everyone in the Midwest, all the fans expect certain things. They know what's going to happen. Here, it's totally new to most of these people, and they really appreciate it. I've been getting a lot of phone calls, people wanting to pre-buy tickets. They don't want to, they want to make sure they can get in here and watch. And, all the little kids that come out in the pits and want their picture taken standing next to your tractor, and the dads looking at stuff that just can't believe what we have bolted to these things, how big everything is and how much horsepower it makes. So
let's talk about your seating. You talk about people already wanting pre-sale tickets, and I know this event has grown. How big is your bleachers? What kind of seating do you have? Plenty of room for everyone? Do they need to call ahead and get tickets? Just tell us about the facilities available for the fans.
Yeah, so this year we're not going to pre-sell anything. We're hoping we'll have to next year.
Mm-hmm.
But we've moved some bleachers around, redid some stuff just, to take a couple of the bleachers out of corners and put them on more of the straightaway to try to give better viewing. So we can seat about 4,500, just in the main part. And then we can, if we have to, we can let some people in the infield. We haven't done that yet or had to do that yet because we've had the room so far. So.
Yeah, I think, and I'm going to say it in Jason's way, do not worry. We have room for you at Satsuma at just at Dirt Motorsports Park. There's no chance of us. We will not run out of room. I promise you, unless 10,000 people show up, which would be amazing. And someday there will. I don't know if we're there this year, but I don't want people to worry about.
No, it's all good. We're fine. We'll be good. I got a bunch of light towers coming. We redid the upper parking area, so it's a lot better shape, and it'll be well lit. And I'm hoping people come a little bit earlier this year, so we don't have 2-mile backups out on Highway 17 like we did last year.
Which is something that the fans need to be aware of, and something that we can talk about. Pulling is very much a holistic, interactive sport. This is not an engagement where, if the pull starts at what time does the pull start? Let's just go ahead and
6:30.
6:30. So pull starts at 6:30. Don't feel like 6:30 is the time you need to get in and sat down. Get there early, walk the pits, talk to the drivers, take pictures. This is a sport that's very enjoyable to be experienced behind the scenes and the prep work just as much as the competition on the track, which then, like they say, makes it a little easier on parking as well. But fans, for those of you who haven't been to something like this before, local Florida fans watching, highly, highly encourage you to experience pulling out in the pits and behind the scenes, an hour or two ahead of showtime as well. And I'm sure, don't be afraid, that you're not going to have something hot to eat and something cold to drink. Plenty of amenities on site, I'm sure, right, guys?
Yes.
Yeah, Stacy was working hard. I got the Snapchat, was starting to get the concession stands ready to go. Looks like they were loading it up and ready to go. So, yeah, a lot of creature comforts. You talk about the bleachers and all the fun to be had there. There's not a bad seat in the house either, which is nice. So, if you're thinking, oh, man, you're encouraging everybody to get there early. We can't get there till we're done with work at 6 o'clock or 6:30 on that Friday. There's still going to be room, and you're still going to be able to see and hear and feel all the action because you're in a bleachers. So that's always nice. So yeah, definitely the creature comforts are there, and it's got that Midwest welcoming feel and in the Florida sunshine. So it's great. Mark, I want to ask you a question quick. What just a guess. Pullers last year that are coming back this year, is it, if you were to shoot from the hip, is it 75% or a lot of people coming back? Do you see a lot of retainage there?
Yeah, I'd say I'm sure we're at 70%, probably 65, 70%.
And we did switch up the classes a little bit too, Matt. So that's part of it. I'm excited.
Yeah, for sure.
This is the first time the Outlaws have ever been in Florida, and we're hoping to start a winter circuit down here in conjunction with Mark and the Outlaws. There's a lot of good venues down there. People are hungry for pulling in Florida in that January, February, March time. We have pullers that want to go south, right? And we have fans in Florida, some snowbirds and some Floridians that want to see some horsepower. And this is going to be, this is not me being salesy. These are the biggest diesel tractors you've ever seen in the state of Florida since the 80s. And, 80s or 90s since the NTPA circuit back in the day, that winter circuit, I think they called it, Kelsey. But we're bringing down, tractors making almost 3,500 horsepower with one turbocharger. And they put on an awesome show in Murfreesboro, Tennessee last week on a 250-foot track. Imagine what they do. They get outside and get a hold of Kelsey's clay. It's going to be a lot of fun. So a little womp womp juice will be needed.
the womp womp.
And then what I'm really proud about, Mark, what you've done, it's a true mixture of noise and smoke, and I think that fits that Florida. And I think they're going to love the smoke as much as they will, the mini rods. I mean, you got Jeff Hurt coming, you got Singletary coming, Kevin Hill's coming, Richardson, Campbell. I mean, you got a bunch of big names that these are the types of pullers you see at the Bowling Greens. And, we use words like that because that's that credibility factor, but it's okay to say you're going to see pullers in Satsuma, Florida this weekend that you'll see at the biggest pull in the world. And I think that's a credit to you, Mark, that they're willing to come down. You're bringing in Richard Love's Mini Rod Sled to give them, I guess, just know that that's something they want to pull on something they want to come down and do a little testing, basically. And they want to know that they want to try some things out before the season starts, and they want to pull on a sled that's safe to them and they're familiar with, and it makes them feel good. And that's a commitment, Mark, that you've made along with Full Pull to make that happen. So that's pretty cool. So.
Yeah, I understand that's, they want to pull what they pull all year.
Yep.
It makes sense. Got a lot of money wrapped up in those things, and they want to do as well as they can, in the summer. So why not pull the sled they pull all summer long?
Matt, I want to set you up like a tour guide, like when you go to Disneyland or like the forest. Like bring, Stacy and Mark will bring them in. We'll park them and they'll be like, "Hi, I might get you like those little headsets." And "Hi, I'm Matt Hart. Welcome to Just That Dirt Motorsports Park. I'm going to be."
And on your left, ladies and gentlemen, you can see.
Get a hot pretzel, a corn dog, and get ready for a great show. Now, remember to keep your hands and feet inside the ride at all times. We're going to be sure and get you there quickly. Thanks for coming today.
Mike, I got to get you a new microphone like Matt's.
I'm telling you, man, that's though I do feel like I just learned how to put my safety vest on right before a flight. I'm not entirely sure that I wasn't supposed to be doing my pre-flight, trip right there, because that's kind of what that felt like a little bit. But yeah, Jason, I think I need more than a microphone to sound as good as Matt.
Well, I don't know, but Matt's pretty fun. I'm pretty glad that he's good friends with the Kelseys. So.
We're going to have a great time this weekend. And, there's a lot of great establishments that get supported. And what else has been fun? We really haven't talked about, but some people, and you've done a great job of posting on Facebook this week, all the sponsors and donors that are helping raise a little money for St. Jude's.
Matt, let me be a good host here. Matt, let me be a good host, and we'll just rattle them off. So.
There you go. That'd be great. Yeah, we go through those because there's some great ones. Go ahead, sir.
No, I'm going to put them on the screen, then you're going to talk. That's how this is
okay, perfect. Yeah, it looks like,
Number 1.
Yep. We got the Goose is at Bennett Family of Companies, and they're out of, is it Harrison, Arkansas? I'm doing this cold read off of a screen. But again, the money they're helping out with, a lot of people have jumped in and helped. I think Mark said, again, the money that's a portion of it's going to go to St. Jude's, and who doesn't have a soft spot for that? Trying to do a good thing while having a good time. So doing a little pulling with purpose. You've got a couple more too, I think I saw on the Facebook page. Of course, Bryant's Auto and Tire Repair. Looks like, where are they out of? They're out of Palatka. So we got a local sponsor there, Danny Bryant. So hopefully Danny and Brittany are out in the stands and we can show them some love throughout the weekend. That'd be great. And then is that Rusty? I'm going to say it wrong. Is it Brysinger? Maybe a sales rep?
That's what I think.
That's how I'd see it.
As an English teacher told me one time, if you don't know a word, pretend like you do and say it fast. I became an auctioneer. Because absolutely. I don't know a darn thing about anything. But that's Alliance Pavers. They're down in San Mateo, Florida. That's kind of what's fun about announcing this, Mike, is, obviously I don't spend a lot of time in Florida. So a lot of the towns and names that people give you a little break if you say their name wrong because they know you're not from there. So that helps. So good to see that from Alliance Pavers. Looks like Rolly Paul and Lisa Cruz at Pit Stop Tires. Yes.
Do you remember the movie Cars?
I do. Yeah.
When the little French guys were Pit Stop. Can you say that for me? Pit Stop.
The Pit Stop Tires and Auto Repair. I can't do it. That's out of East Palatka, which again is right down the street. Mark's thinking, man, I got to get back to work. So they're going to have this.
The track's calling.
Yeah. R&J Towing of Putnam County, which is where we're going to be in Putnam County. I'm being the football fan I am. All I can think about was Jacksonville not being far and their new coach saying what he did, the big Duval people. But Putnam County, R&J Towing, of course, Bruce Burkett. Again, some of their money's going to St. Jude's, which is huge, and also helping keep the lights on and get pullers into Florida. So, and look at that forecast. Is that Mima's restaurant? I think someone went there for lunch last year and talked about how good it is.
Lots of people.
Yeah, a couple of the waitresses actually came out to the show, I think. And
everybody, please call Mima's restaurant right now at 386-649-4929. Let them know that. Thank you for sponsoring the Just That Dirt Motorsports Park. Would that be funny, Matt? If their phone just blow up.
Yeah, that'd be, and we also want a chocolate shake, a malt. It's hot down there. We had chocolate cake shakes the last time I was in Florida with Mark, and we may have enhanced those or something.
But, Matt can say that fast. Chocolate cake shakes.
They were good. Terry and Ann, of course. Is that with
the good stuff?
Is it to good stuff? Yeah.
Isn't that one of the vendors?
Yeah. Terry. Yeah, he's with Diesel Life, and he promotes Bull Snot products.
Yep, they're doing the $500 bonus for the Saturday night winner on the 3
Yeah, he actually went out and got a lot of those sponsors for us in his downtime here setting up. He really stepped up and helped us a lot.
Terry added me on Facebook today, so it's good to see you, Terry. Now I can put a face to the name of Bull Snot and Diesel Life, so we love to see that. Van Brown, CEO out of Dalton, Georgia. Nice.
Yeah, I believe he owns Bull Snot.
Yes, yes, sir, Mark. That is the owner. Yep.
Yeah.
Nice timing there.
Hold on, I got that little big here. Here's another one for you. Is that
Doug
hangers
Heyman.
that have the white 1066 at pull, Matt, Mark?
Yep, the white one. Yep.
Yeah, you're good friends with him, right, Mark? Is that
Very
Doug?
much so.
Doug
Yeah.
and oh gosh, darn it.
Lawrence.
Yes.
Lawrence,
Yeah. Lawrence. Yeah.
Yep. Built that tractor. They're actually going NTPA Super Farm Grand National Series this year with that tractor.
Awesome.
It just talks about how handy Mark is too. And Fruitland Body Shop, right? It's a Chief Easy Liner Frame Equipment. Jimmy McNeil out of Satsuma, just down the highway there on Highway 17. Hopefully get to see the whole crew. They should all come out and hang out with us, drink a couple beers. I'm sure they would.
Yeah,
enjoy
they'll
their
be
time.
here at the pole with their banners and trucks and everything. Yep.
Awesome.
Is that the same card, maybe? No, let me see here.
Body Shop and Roof Service. No,
Here
that's
we go.
Neil Strickland.
Neil
That's who that is.
Roofing. Sorry about
Yeah.
that, Matt. I went backwards.
No, that's all right. Neil Strickland says that the hurricanes come through, they're going to re-roof your house. It's Neil Strickland Roofing in East Palatka, Florida. I can't help
Matt,
it.
I'm going to get you on a game show. You're too good.
If you ain't pretty, you got to charm them, friends, and we're going to have to charm them all tonight. Here's Aaron Curtis, our general manager. See, I'm starting to loosen up. I'm ready for vacation. We're going to be in Palatka, Florida for that on John's Avenue. It's going to be fun. I just hope it doesn't ice up, Mark. See, that's the only way I get them. I always said the only way I can get a girl is if you make her laugh so hard she squints and can't see how ugly you are. So that's the key to my life, friends. There it is.
How do you whoa, we got a lot to talk about then.
Yeah. Well, we got a whole weekend of it, Jason. So be ready. Arctic air. You're going to need some when it's 84 degrees in Florida. And there's a great picture of the piles of dirt that Mark has now knocked down. ArcticAirHomeservices.com. Oh, Lord. This is it, guys.
I just want to play a game. I just want to play a game and just put random pictures on the internet from Mark just have to talk about.
Yep. But no, get him in a role where he's announcing them, but then just throw in like a rubber duck or something and don't tell him it's not something that he's supposed to incorporate into the sponsors, and just listen to his broadcast voice as he tries to make sense of that.
Rubber Ducky, you're the one. You can also sponsor our poll down in Satsuma, Florida. The 6th, 7th, and 8th. We're going to be around 6:30 p.m.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
No,
Well, guys, let's wrap it up. I got Melissa Holbrook waiting back in the green room. She's a lot prettier than all of you four on the screen. And they had an awesome event in Murfreesboro this weekend. And so again, if you can't be in Satsuma, check it out on fullpole.live. It's always better to be there. Mark, what are some of the big towns? Like everything's like an hour, right? At the most, like Jacksonville.
Yeah. Palatka is 6 miles. St. Augustine is 30 minutes. The beach is 40 minutes. Jacksonville's 45. Ocala is an hour. Orlando is about an hour and a half. Yep. So
Good deal.
Daytona's an hour.
Awesome. Yep. Awesome. All right, Mark. See you in a couple days. We're going to be down Wednesday night. Matt, when are you flying in?
Thursday night. So I'll see you first thing Friday morning.
Sweet. And Mike will be watching on the live stream.
If you saw us on the stream and you jumped on Facebook and you come to the event, come say hi. We'd love to
please
see
do.
you. That'd be great. I saw Ron chimed in tonight. Excited to work with him. It's going to be a great time. And we want to wish Mike a happy birthday, and we'll be sure everybody blows his phone up over the weekend too.
We will. All right. Good night, Mark. See you, Matt.
Right.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Satsuma, Florida is a place to be this weekend. Now, the place to be last weekend was Murfreesboro, Tennessee. We have Melissa Holbrook. She's the pretty part of the promoters. Her and her husband, Dave, put this event on with some help, some others as well. But I asked Melissa to come on today. Mike, did you see much like on Facebook? To check out Full Pull. We had a bunch of stuff going on out there. So
Alice Chalmers go boom.
Yes, the Elper family. And then do you see they turned it into a bar on Saturday night?
Dude, I did see that where they legitimately like standing behind it and saying like, hey, do you want, like vodka cranberry, or were we just setting the empties up on the hood?
It is. So Melissa, welcome. How are you tonight, Melissa?
I'm good, Jason. How are you?
Good. How tired are you on a scale of 1 to 10? 10 being very tired and 1 being refreshed. So.
7.
It's not okay.
That's fair. Well, hey, this was our first trip ever. Thank you for letting Full Pull come down. We got to promote full pull picks, walking around the arena with our girls, and we also shot some content as well. There was a bunch of YouTubers and Facebookers and everybody down there, so there's pictures everywhere. But check out Full Pull and Beer Money for sure. I'm going to brag about us a little bit. But Melissa, how long you been doing the event? You and David, let's talk about it. And man, I'm telling you, Mike, if everybody would have sat down Saturday night, there would not have been a place to sit. We would have been sitting on each other's laps. It was there was a line, and I'm not joking. And I'm a sales guy, and I say this all the time. There was a line until about 7:45. So the first 45, or I'm in the wrong. I keep jumping time zones, but for 45 minutes, Mike, outside, it was awesome to see. Then it was long for people to get in, and they had plenty of staff, Mike. There was just a lot of people trying to get in all at once. So.
Things that make Jason Schultz happy at a tractor pull.
Fans in the stands. Fans in the stands.
Butts in seats and lines at the booths. Those are the things that Jason Schultz.
I don't give a crap how many views you got on YouTube. I don't give a crap how many views you got on Facebook. Fans in the stands pay the promoters, and promoters pay pullers. And I'm a tractor puller, and so is Melissa. So let's go.
That's right.
Melissa.
That's right.
So talk to us. So you're coming up in 20 years next year. So this is 19. So you and David have been married that long? You've put up each other that long to be a promoter? Or?
We've been married almost 15 years.
Oh, wow. And promoters. That's a good marriage. That is a good marriage.
Thank you.
Well, talk to us. Tell us about the event. Tell us how it came to fruition. And then let's thank some of your sponsors and stuff tonight, Melissa.
Okay. Well, the event actually started in 2006, and I came along a few years into it and just tried to work with the vendors and get more people and different things in as far as pulling and different attraction things for people. And it's just grown tremendously over the years. And I'm so thankful for everybody that's been a part of it along the way.
And this is a view of the Coliseum empty. We took this Friday during the day. Chandler did, or Mackenzie. I don't remember who, but it's really neat. There's not a bad seat in the house, Mike. Like these horse parks in Tennessee and Kentucky are legit. It's all paved outside for all the pullers. They're set up, Melissa. I'm telling you, it's a great venue. It is a great venue for pulling all the way around. That is a horse park, right? Or did I say it wrong, Melissa?
This is a horse arena.
Okay.
I think maybe we're the only motorsports event that they have there. But yeah, it was built for horse shows and horse events.
It's beautiful. Absolutely.
Yes, it is a very nice facility.
And that's where it's always been, right, Melissa?
Yes.
Okay. I'm just going to flip up some of the photos that we have as we're talking here a little bit about the event. So this is that's the Dixie Ram. That's Caroline Count's 3.6 diesel truck. There's a nice shot.
Ray Tucker.
That's Ray Tucker.
Ray Tucker.
Blood, sweats, and gears. Yep.
You know, Jason and Melissa, what's neat, we watched the pull that was in Lexington, and then we watched this one that was in Murfreesboro. When I think of a horse arena, typically the soil composition is very sandy, very loose, but you talk about how they're really catching on for pulling. I've been really impressed with the way the tracks have been taking the power. I didn't see a lot of vehicles hitting the sand pile super hard from what clips I saw this weekend, and that wasn't for lack of horsepower. Some big names down there, but I thought the track that I saw on display looked like a really, really nice track that these pullers were able to come down and compete on.
Yeah, I talked to a lot of the competitors, and it was very consistent from start to finish in the class, and they all admitted that. And the sled settings were perfect. And it's fun to see them go flying into the sand, but it really slows the show down. And Melissa had plenty of hooks as it was, and they didn't need to slow the show down anymore. There was plenty of pulling all 3 sessions there. This is something cool I've never seen before. That's a legitimate red carpet, Mike. So if you're leading the class, at Louisville, they stuff 3 in the corner, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Here in Murfreesboro at Southern Motorsports Promotions, they put the leader on that red carpet. And then if you get booted, Mike, they just hook you up and yank you out.
Roll out the red carpet and roll off the red carpet when someone pulls a little further.
That's right. That's right.
That's
another
wonderful.
thing that stole the show was Typen's Tractor Nightlife being out. This chassis hasn't been out like in 20 years, I think, Mike. I should have had you research that a little bit more, but that's Scott Typen's son. Got the hook. So.
No, the kid drove it.
Yeah, no, yeah. I'm sorry, his 16-year-old.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, for the first time. So that was fun. And then that's Brandon's light super outside. It's either gravel or pavement outside, Mike. So if it was a little wet, it wasn't all sloppy and crappy. So that's good. And then we had the Vags. There's
Yeah, I saw they were down there
Fans.
too. I imagine that 2.6 class put on a good show like that, or that, excuse me, he's a 3.0 class. Or yeah, 3.6. Sorry, I'm gonna get there eventually. He's a 3.6 class. Yeah, I bet they put on a good show.
They did. Yeah, it was a good class.
So everybody got a hook twice, Mike, and then there was a finals Saturday night, and that was fun. So it was a great time. I got some more photos here. Here's Mark Hale giving us a thumbs up. So I like to see that. Larry Phillips, he was very happy. He won the whole thing Saturday night. He stood up and was cheering. The whole crowd went crazy. It was awesome. It was awesome. There's a lineup of some. That had been the 5.0 class, Mike.
Yes.
Saturday night.
Yeah, you got Couch's tractor sitting back there. I see as well.
Yep, and there's Fly You Fool. No, that's that's Fly You Fool, and that was the winner right there.
Yep.
That tractor's been hot. I think the last 2 times it's hooked. So it won Friday night in Lufkin, Texas, and I don't know if it's hooked this winter yet, but if this was its first hook, that thing is tough to beat right now.
Yes, it is. Here's a Red Rattler. This was later in the night. You know, so it was we pulled what? Did we get done about 12:30? Melissa?
Something like that. Yes, I believe so.
So when people see the stands empty, I hate the comments on Facebook. Well, where's all the fans? Well, they went home a couple hours ago because they were tired. So just being honest. Here's the Dark Fired Express. Adam Wright, that tractor screams. Absolute screamer. So again, had a blast. Melissa, what's it like? I mean, the anticipation of the event, and then just kind of that. Oh, I just saw you go by on the golf cart 1 million times past our full pull booth Friday night and Saturday during the day, just running around. What's it like being a promoter? It's just hard.
Well, it's a lot of work, but I really enjoy it. And some of these folks we only see this one time a year. So get to see them. And, that's what makes us just keep coming back. And, we couldn't do them without them. And, most of the time when I'm on the golf cart, I'm checking on my vendors and stuff and, just making sure they're okay and seeing if they need anything. And so, I just love the event.
Yep. Melissa, what are some good holes to stay at? David's from Michigan. I think he's going to try to come down next year. So
some good hotels.
Yeah. Do you have them on the website, or what do you recommend?
We actually do this year. Jason, I work one-on-one with the Rutherford County Chamber of Commerce here in Murfreesboro, and they're really good about getting us hotel lists. And they set out blocks of rooms for the spectators, the vendors, and the pullers, and media, and whoever else may come in. And if you tell them you're coming for the Southern Motorsports promotion event, you get a discounted rate. I usually have that up. I don't know. It's usually in December that we get it back from the chamber and get that up on the website.
Awesome. Is it okay to tell next year's dates, Melissa, or do you want to keep that under wraps for now?
No, it's not 100% set in stone, but so far I think it's going to be January 30th and 31st.
Nice. And I hope it's that weekend between the Super Bowl and the playoffs.
Yes, me too.
Nothing to do because that helps. That helps.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
That Saturday night crowd, Melissa, that was a ton of people. What does that arena hold? Is it like 4,600? Somebody told us. Is that right?
Yes, you're right. 4,600.
Awesome. And I saw everything from little kids. I mean, the cutest little kids dressed up like little farmers. I got one little boy to say, I asked him, "You been farming long?" And he just shook his head. I don't think he knew what I was doing. His mom was there with him. And then just, then your good old fans. And then something like, I was like, where do you buy a beer? And everybody was walking in with coolers. I think that's a hit, Melissa, letting people bring in coolers.
Yeah, they're pretty good about that. We try to keep it to just a small cooler with no glass bottles and stuff. And, Jason, we've never really had any kind of trouble or anything, and everybody just comes and has a good time. So, yes.
A good deal.
Yeah, I've always felt that's been a good key to success. You see a handful of pulls out there, and when they allow fans to bring their own refreshments, especially if you can carry in your own beer, if you just want to call a spade, fans like that. That gets them to stay there longer. That gets them to interact more. Usually when I hear promoters doing that, that's usually a good way to keep the good times rolling and keep the experience good for everyone. Fans are receptive to that idea.
Melissa, is that a liquor license thing, or why did you and David arrive at that? I guess to let the coolers come in.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, we're fine with that.
Okay, good, understood. Yeah, no, selling beer, it adds a whole another level of complexity to an event, from licensing to insurance and stuff like that. So
Yes,
good.
they drink the beer. They buy more food from my vendors, so that makes them happy.
There you go.
So
There
you parked Full Pull Picks next to that little AC or ACAI, that little berry booth.
Acai bowls.
Whatever, yeah. I had 7 of those things. I spent $84 with that lady. So she loved me because I'm fat and I need to lose weight, and I blame it every weekend. We're traveling with Full Pull. And I was like, and I said, wow, they parked me next to the berry lady. This is God's divine intervention. So,
well, I tried to give you a really good spot, Jason.
It was great. It was great to see the end of the track and still talk to everybody. So it was fun.
Yes, yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank y'all for coming.
If anybody has any questions for Melissa or David, I think David's probably hiding there. Tell Melissa what to say. I don't know if he's there or not, but if you have questions, please type in there if you had a good time. How do you pick your classes, Melissa? There was a ton of iron. And is it an invitational? Do people apply? Can you kind of talk about your process a little bit there?
What we do, Jason, it is invitational. We send out invites. They mail them back in. Then we kind of open it up when we see, where our class numbers are. We open it up to somebody that may be a new pooler. If we have a vacancy, we try to let them come in, but we are invitational only. Yes.
Okay. And then the 5.0 Pro Stock class was a hit. That was kind of added kind of late. How did that come around for you guys?
Just Ken Couch kind of reached out to David and, said, look, would you give us a chance? And, and David he wanted to try it and see how it turned out. And it turned out to be really good. It was a great class.
Yeah, it really was. And the light limited super stocks, every class put on a great show. You had a good mix of smoke and noise, and the smoke tube. I don't think we had any issue with the smoke tube all weekend long. So shout out to Eddie Carey and his crew.
Yes.
So
yes.
It was a well-run event. Went really good all weekend long. So
thank you. We try.
It's all good. Anybody you want to thank tonight, Melissa, or anything else you want to get up before we let you go?
I would just like to thank Brothers Implement Company. They're always there. They're a show sponsor. I need anything, I call them, I say, hey, and they're on it. The same thing with Crag Equipment here in Murfreesboro, the local John Deere dealer. They're really helpful and very supportive of us. And, I have so many other sponsors too that I'm afraid I'll leave someone out if I try to mention them all. But, I'm thankful that we've got the support from the community that we do.
You do. And Murfreesboro is a great town. And I think they said that arena, is that part of Middle Tennessee State, the actual university, that arena?
Yes. Yes, it is.
So it was great. And then Mike, we're less than an hour from Nashville. There was plenty of food. We went out to two bars or two, where we eat Saturday afternoon, and they knew about the trip. 2J's Bar and Grill just down the road.
2J's, yes.
Yeah. And the bartender's like, hey, you guys must be from the tractor pull. I'm like, how did you know? Was it the big full pull shirts? And she kind of chuckled a little bit, but they actually staffed up, because they knew that brings extra people to town. And that's great too, when truck and tractor pulling brings, economic impact to an area like that. It's good.
Yes. Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I know I kind of surprised you this afternoon coming on tonight, but I wanted to do a recap. We had a blast. Thank you again for letting us come down and promote Full Pull Picks. And you and David and the Wombles and everybody involved did an awesome job. Thank you so much.
Well, I just want to say thank y'all for coming, and the photographers, they were very sweet, and I just appreciate y'all being there and the support that you guys give us.
Awesome, Melissa. Thank you again, and we'll talk soon.
We'll talk soon, Jason. Thank you.
Have a good night.
You
Bye-bye.
too. Bye.
That's Melissa Holbrook, everybody. Again, her and her husband, David, are the promoters there of the Southern Motorsports Promotions, Murfreesboro, Tennessee. It was an awesome event, Mike. 3 sessions. They honestly could go to 4. There was so much equipment there. And the sessions did go probably about 5 hours each. And I know some of the people, it got late, but, some bitter fans stuck it out to the end. But it was, Mike, it was so packed Saturday night. That was a great feeling. Lexington, everybody kept telling me Lexington was going to fill up, and it never filled up Saturday night. That really bummed me out. And everybody kept telling me Saturday, man, this place is going to be full tonight. And man, it was freaking awesome, Mike. It was because, that's why we do this. I want fans in the stands. I want fans in the stands to pay promoters, to pay pullers. And the Holbrooks are pullers. Wombles are pullers. In that area, that Tennessee area, there's a lot of so Mid-South had a booth there. Middle Tennessee had a booth there, Mike. It felt like a damn class reunion. Just everybody was happy to be there. It was so fun. and it was just a good event. And that venue is legit, Mike. Legit good.
The horse parks that they have in Kentucky and Tennessee, which I think they're really common. I think horse culture is a big part of that, upper South area. That needs to be a place where pulling, I think we can really start hitting a home run there. You can only fill up a Freedom Hall with the championship tractor pull. Anything beyond that, that's too big. But you get these horse arenas, 3,000, 4,000, everyone's lower level seating. Everyone's got a comfortable seat back chair. You can build a track with room on either sides to display the vehicles. That could really be a bread and butter setup for indoor pulling in these late winter months.
Well, and we talk about Tucker's pull being the Super Bowl of single chargers, and that's some of those classes, Louisville. That's the same thing here for light limited super stocks. To win Murfreesboro is a big deal, for these competitors, the super farm tractors that were there, the 3.6 diesel trucks, all those classes, they're there. This is their Louisville. I mean, we're in God's country for pulling down here, and there's pulling everywhere. So it was fun. I mean, it was a blast. I'd seen it on the internet before, and I was just so glad to see that arena full Saturday night. Because again, I'm going to keep saying it over and over and over again. I don't care how many views a video has on until you get to be there and be part of it and experience. That is the best feeling in the world. And I feel like if we can get more people exposed, have them on the pod. I'm glad Melissa jumped on tonight. Just great. You can tell that where their passion is. It's organized. It's well run. The vendors were all happy. Everybody knew what they needed to do. The volunteers were there from the ticketing, the parking, Mike. It's a well run event. It is I just want to help them get a bigger crowd on Friday night next year. They had a nice crowd Friday night. I was told it was one of their bigger Friday night crowds, but anytime there's an empty seat, I'm pissed because I'm like, what did we not do? Who did we not tell? Why is, this is the greatest motorsport on earth and stuff like that. So they hit a home run. I'm happy for them. And they have this old cool international truck that I think it's David's. They park it out along the road with the signs on the side of it. I mean, when you think of the South and the hospitality, that's what it is, Mike. It's legit.
Well, and I think Tennessee and Kentucky are an underrated and overlooked resource in the world of pulling. And it's funny the way you were describing.
And I don't think, but for us, so we're not brainwashed, but we're brainwashed by our outlaws and our NTPA because we work with full pull, right? So, but there's a lot of good pulling, and that's what's been good for us when these promoters invite people down there. We could show that national audience because you'd have to admit the full pull audience is a grand national NTPA audience and an outlaw audience, right? Because we trained them for that. But then they get to see, holy shit, what's this Murfreesboro, Tennessee thing? I need to go to this next year. And that's the spotlight that we bring to a promoter. And you may not see it that first year, but then next year it just starts to grow like a snowball and it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So that's what I'm excited about helping with. So it's fun. And they're great promoters. And it's fun to work with people that appreciate you being there, Mike. And I watched Melissa go around, thank all the vendors for being there. And that how do I say that? The berry lady, AC? Acai berries. I'm telling you, I cleaned her up. She was chopping pineapples and bananas, Mike, and I was eating them up fast.
It's funny that you spent $84 and
they were $12 a bowl, and I bought 7.
You're uncertain how to say it at the end of it. Now, I bet if it was like sirloin or deep fried Oreos, you'd know how to
bone-in ribeye, medium rare, baked potato with mashed potato.
Yes.
That's why I look like I do.
Jason's fully endorsed pineapple bowl. You can get it now on Beer Money.
I had her trained. I went up. I said, "Hey, ma'am, I've been trying to lose weight for 2 years now, and I'm never gonna because I like to drink whiskey and order pizza at 3 a.m." She kind of chuckled, and then then she said, "Oh, I'll get you a bowl." Money was blueberries and all kinds of good stuff. So thank you for Melissa for coming on tonight. That was great. We got a couple minutes before we flip over and go west. Mike, what do you have for pulling through the past tonight, buddy?
Pulling through the past. I've got a fun story that I want to tell on something I just noticed today, and a couple of really neat pictures that Clayton Ullum has. Am I saying that right? You guys work with him, Clayton.
Foggy Bottom Images. Yep, he's one of our photographers. He helps us out.
So he submitted some really cool stuff, and he's got like some newer vintage stuff, and then like some vintage stuff. So this ties in well. Craig Corzine was talking about.
Mike, I gotta play your Kenzie's thing. Hold on.
Oh,
okay, give me 30 seconds. I'm proud of that, Mike. We got to have a nice
I like it too, but see, strong speaker, poor listener. You have to say, Mike, stop talking.
Hey, you and I, same boat. Yeah, we come to China together. Yes.
I tell you what, Jason, if you put me, you, and Craig Corzine in a podcast together, I believe we would be here for a while. That
that would be. Remember that night we went for 5 hours? We interviewed those people from Louisiana.
So anywho, Craig was talking about the chassis that he had gotten from Brett Berg, and the tie-in with that was really neat. And this is just coincidence, but Clayton submitted this photo. This is definitely Tomo, Wisconsin. There were several that came from this collection, and I'm going to guess this is maybe 2002, 2003, somewhere in there. But we got Brett Berg sitting right here with a 5-engine setup. I labeled it as a moneymaker because I never knew Brett to pull in a tractor called anything other than the moneymaker. You can see it's sponsored by Arctic Cat, but if anyone knows if for some crazy reason he called it something different back then, let me know. But fun to see kind of an older picture of Brett Berg pulling out there in the mod. Neat on the old school style injector hats on the top of that as well. I always like the way that those look. So thank you for that picture. Going old school. This is also from Clayton. My research told me, and this was from comments on the internet, that this is Charlie Price campaigning a truck that he called Yellow Fever, definitely with the old school, longer wheelbase style. This is something that we don't see much of in modified trucks. I don't think we see it all in modified trucks, but we do see in super modified where they kick that rear tire out behind the wheel well in the back there. Really, really cool looking truck. These guys have been making a resurgence on the internet. People are getting really into these classic images. They're having them put on t-shirts and stuff with these long wheelbase trucks. Didn't like the way they looked at first, but they are growing on me. I think they are.
We saw a bunch of them at Eddie Carey's pull. That they have that super mod class, right?
Yeah, where they kick them out. And I used to not be able
Jared Jones, those guys.
I used to not be able to stand the way that looked, where they go beyond the wheel well. And now I think it looks really cool just because it's so different and so unique. Story time. So I was in Walmart the other day. Kirksville, Missouri, Kirksville, Walmart. Jason, Kinsey, have you guys ever found yourselves in the Walmart Supercenter in Kirksville, Missouri?
No.
I can see it. I can say we went to one in Elizabethtown, Kentucky yesterday. Does that count? Or?
No. I don't think so. Here's why I bring it up. Because the Supercenter in Kirksville, Missouri. Now, this was like my Walmart growing up as a kid because my hometown didn't have a Walmart. You had to go up to Kirksville, go to church, get your groceries, get your oil change, whatever. And so this was kind of our family's home away from home. But where the Walmart Supercenter exists now, evidently back in the 1980s, was the Kirksville Raceway, a favorite spot for my father to go pulling. And we have a couple of pictures from the Kirksville Raceway. Now, of course, this isn't a race. This is the pull that they had. And I bet I have looked at these pictures.
Is that the levee leaper?
a thousand times in my life. Yeah. So this is Ivan Carroll on the levee leaper at the Kirksville Raceway. But what I want you to look at here is not actually the tractors I'm going to show you. So Dad's got a bajillion of these pictures from what I assumed.
Mike, what is a bajillion exactly? What's a rough, is it between a billion and a trillion? Or
that's a Google. That's a Google with 1 trillion less zeros.
Honestly?
I have no idea. I teach English, not math.
Can you Google that for me? Check on that. I got my fact checker.
A Google is a 1 followed by like 100 zeros or something like that. That I do know. A Google is big.
Okay, sorry, Mike. I digress.
It's all good. Don't pay. So I'm going to show you a couple of pictures. Okay, here we're back at the Kirksville Speedway. This is Ron Warshkow and the Persuader. Ron Warshkow pulls Jeepers Creepers now. He's still out there pulling. Same pull, right? Exact same pull, right? I've looked at him so many times in my life. What do you guys notice that's different from these two pictures?
Let me see the sleds again. Yeah, different sleds.
Yep. So here, that brings us to our next photo. So I finally realized, like I said, I've looked at these pictures my whole life growing up, and I just knew it was the same pull. So you got Ivan Carroll on the Levee Leaper, Ron Warshkow on the Persuader. Different sleds. Guys, these are two separate pulls. I've been trying to figure out the years that these pulls took place. It's not even the same pull. We've got to do some major research. Exhibition 1, we have Mike Wolk on the Bush sled. This was actually a picture submitted by Jim Harmon, separate picture, but he gives us a good example of the sled that Ivan Carroll was pulling on the Levee Leaper. But exhibit number 2 we have Dave Hager's old Ironside sled, which was voted. I looked this up today. This was voted Sled of the Year 4 consecutive years in the 1980s by the NTPA. So different years, different pulls, not the same pull. But we have some cool old sleds in here. Dave Hager's on the Ironside, Mike Wolk on the Bush sled, vintage pulling photos from the Kirksville Speedway, but not the same pull. I learned something about my own legacy today.
Well, when you learn something, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. So I know that we had people actually ask for you this past weekend. Like, where's Mike at? Where's Mike going to be at Louisville again? He interviewed me last year. I saw you guys in the
Oh,
booth.
sure. Yep.
Yep. It was fun. It was fun.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah.
Good
No, I
stuff.
remember I talked to a lot of the Mid-South pullers and some people from Tennessee.
Yep.
I've been following them on Facebook. Really, really good folks down there. Can't wait to see them. So I thought about going to Murfreesboro because in my mind, Missouri and Tennessee were border states, but only just barely. And it was only 8 hours and 48 minutes from my house to Murfreesboro. And I was sitting in my chair early Saturday morning, which of course you guys know what Friday nights are, but I was sitting in my chair early Saturday morning thinking about what I could do with the day. And I was like, oh, if I left right now, I'd be there at like 4:36. And like, I thought about it. And then I was like, and then I continued to sit in my chair.
You could have cuddled in my hide bed with me at the DoubleTree. So, and the DoubleTree, they give you a cookie and a bottle of water. Yep. So, and those diesel truck guys were staying. They drank until the sun came up in the hotel lobby there. So I was proud of them. But I went to bed. But 10 years ago, oh no, I would pretend like I was at the Golden State Invitational once a year. I just light it up. I light it up with those boys.
The dog gets out of the cage once a year.
Yeah, I felt so bad for that Uber driver a couple years ago because I waited until I had to throw up until I got to the Fresno airport. And I threw up every time I roll into the Fresno airport now. Is that little tree that I kind of I
Hey, buddy.
I'm not gonna lie. It was John Boer's Crown Royal.
Yeah.
So I just John Boer always hooks me up. So
I can second that. With Dr. Pepper.
with Dr. Pepper.
Mhm.
Yep. So well, Mike, awesome job tonight.
Mhm.
I'm gonna kick you off. I'm gonna go West Coast. I'm gonna go out west to see a Cowboy, see my good buddy, Brian Massetti. He's still number one, but James is pretty close now with the Facebook Marketplace. I'm not gonna lie. And we got Cedar Trev, and then Uncle Steve, Uncle Kevin, Cousin Billy, and third cousin Bob, and then I think we got Tommy Reedy coming on tonight too.
You guys, we're gonna get a reality show. Like we need to do like the Massettis, like I want to be a cowboy baby or something like that. Yep. And it's a camera follows around. Like
just need time. Just need time. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. But two-wheel drive truck pulling is going to explode on the West Coast in the next 5 years. Brent Sullivan's got his out there now. I think Tommy does not live in California. It's Idaho or Utah or one of those Western states out there. We can go to pulls within 90 minutes of each other. A 9-hour drive is normal for them.
Yeah.
And MLM is working on that as they're gaining more pulls out there and stuff like that. So, Mike, thank you. Again, we're starting every show now at 7:30. We're going to have a 30-minute interview with a relevant topic puller. Mike, is that safe to say? Like we had Corzine on tonight. That was a great interview. Go back and watch that anytime. Kenzie trims out all the segments, posts them on the Let's Grow Pulling YouTube channel as well. And but again, before we let you go, Satsuma, Florida, this Friday and Saturday, if you cannot be there, fullpull.live is your destination. And that's where Mike will be watching from. So see you, Mike. Love you, bro.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great rest of the show.
All right, friends. I got the Massettis in the backstage. I'm going to bring Brian on in a second.
Mm-hmm.
Did you add sound yet to their cool thing, Kenzie?
No.
Oh, you got to get that done. I promised Massetti we'd make this fancy for him.
Yeah.
That's okay. They're still good people.
Yeah, they're not going to hate us. So,
Brian, my man, how are you?
Guys, I'm good. How are you?
Good to see you. I'm going to, before I bring everybody on, it gives us a chance to talk. Because once old Uncle Kev gets on here and Uncle Steve, it's over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like you don't exist anymore. So I thought I'd give you your highlight. So
I appreciate it.
I think we have just naturally adopted you into the Let's Grow Pulling podcast, into our 2, sometimes 3, sometimes 4. That shit's got to stop because I got to get up in the morning. But no, it's a lot of fun. Brian, if for those of you that don't know, we about 15, 20 minutes or so, we do an MLM puller that hooks with MLM Motorsports, and then we go into Facebook Marketplace, which is it's a blast. They get random just Facebook listings. Some of them are pulling, some of them are just the wildest shit you've ever seen in your life. And we guess the price, and it's like the price is right. And if you go over, you don't win. And we have Cheater Trev, and we have a whole gang. It's a lot of fun. So Brian, who do you got coming on tonight? And I'll start bringing them on one by one. So.
Well, I think we have the regular cast of characters. We have my both of my awesome brothers, Uncle Steve and Uncle Kev. And
there they are.
Yeah. There they are. What's up, guys?
Hey, Tip.
I mean, it's hard to tell we're all brothers because, I mean, I got all this gray hair and they don't have any. But anyways, it's all right.
It would be gray if I had it.
This is true. This is true. And I do believe that both of my awesome sons are here. There they are. We got Trev and James. Trev, we know, is in Bree's room. And James, as we all know, surprises us with a new location every week. And I want to say it looks like Jason and Kinsey found a new place this week, too.
We're in an undisclosed location in Kentucky.
Okay.
Yep.
Very cool.
It's not a police station, though. It's not a police station. I just want to throw that out there. So.
Well, that's good.
James, where are you at tonight, buddy?
I'm in the old business school. It's called Collins something. No idea. Door was open.
Cool.
Cool. Nice. We like it when the doors are already open.
Yep.
Makes things nice.
Yep.
Hey, and before we bring our guest Tommy on tonight, I do want to mention that next Wednesday night, we kicking off the Pacific Power Pulling Series with the Max Cackle event in Tulare, the World Ag Expo. It's Wednesday night. Please check out Max Cackle's Facebook and website for all the details. For the competitors, there is a specific gate, and there are times where we have to be in by. So please check out Max Cackles. I've seen him posting it on Facebook, and we shared it. But definitely want to follow the rules because it's actually at the World Ag Expo grounds this year, which is a big deal. It's a lot of potential for growth in this event. So also on our website, mlm-motorsports.com, the forms for the pre-commitment, the commitment series that we're doing, the Pacific Power Pulling Series, for the 3 modified tractors, the Pro Mod trucks, limited Pro Stock pickups, and Super Farm tractors. Any competitor that's interested in being a part of this program, you can go there, you can fill out your form. Also, the sponsorship information is there, and we do have sponsors that we've got lined up. So we'll be pushing that out on Facebook here also soon. Anyways, we're excited about
Brian,
that.
Brian, real quick before we bring Tommy on, where is what's is it under Max Cackle Power Sports? Where's the Western Farm Show stuff?
On Facebook, it'll be Max Cackle Power Sports. Yes.
Okay.
And they've been posting a couple pictures here and there, but there was a post a couple weeks ago, I think, about what gate we actually enter, what time they're going to close that gate. I don't remember all the details, but I do know we need to follow the rules set forth by the World Ag Expo.
So those places like those state fairs, they don't mess around. We run into that in the summer. Oh, I spelled Max Cackle wrong. Sorry. There's two X's. Yep.
2 X's.
All right, there it is. Sorry about that. I want to throw that up here quick, that poster. So the last date, the poll is the last, because the California guys came out to Murfreesboro and kicked some ass, the Super Farm and the 5.0 Pro Stock. So they ran good.
I saw Matt Crow. I think you guys posted a video of Matt Crow's Super Farm.
Yep, it's probably on Full Pull Facebook. So or TikTok or Instagram or YouTube, I don't know, but just go look at Full Pull. Relive the whole weekend there. I'll pull up the 25 schedule. Is that good enough? No. February 12th, California Winter Nationals. There's your post.
Yeah, it's on there.
I forgot about that, Brian. I'm sorry. I wish I'd had that ready.
No, that's okay. I kind of threw it out there.
No, but I knew better because I knew it was coming up. We're all thinking about Satsuma, Florida this weekend. I haven't thought much past next week yet. So old Super Mod John poking at me a little bit. Get it together, Jason. Pro Mod John. Yeah, that's right. Hey, I was drinking. that night.
Yes, you are.
Yes, I was.
Anyways, I didn't.
So much fun.
I don't want to take up too much time, but I do want to mention that next Wednesday night is the kickoff of the power pulling series. Go back up a little, Jason.
This
Right
one?
there. No.
Okay, gotcha. No.
No, that was my post.
Okay. I'm on Max Cackle's page right now.
That
You go
one,
up a little
right?
further. There's a picture of a
This one?
limited pro stock trophy. It's got.
Anyway,
it's got
they
my
had a
name on
post
it.
in there somewhere
Yeah.
about
Right there. That one. Go back.
not the gate to use.
That one right there. Or that says what time, but then the one they posted today says which gate to use.
Okay.
If you go on their Facebook, you can find that, I'm sure. Somebody-
Yeah.
That one right there.
Yes, that one.
Here we go. Gates. Yeah, enter at gate D
Okay.
off Spina and drive towards the grandstands. Okay. I'll throw that in the
Perfect.
comments, guys.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you.
So, that's not for the competitors, though.
That's for the fans.
I think. I don't know. I will get a hold of Donnie and Kathy and ask them to repost the information on the competitor entrance. Because see, that says gates open at 4:30.
Yeah.
So, anyways, there's a lot of information there on there. If you scroll through, they did haul in Kane Trucking, who's also a sponsor of the Pacific Power Pulling Series, hauled in some better dirt to try to improve the track conditions, which is much appreciated. And you notice that Kane truck and trailer looks a lot like Paul Barcelos's twin engine tractor.
There's a reason, I think.
Which was an old Corzine tractor. So tying it all together.
Who was
there
our
for you.
guest on earlier tonight, by the way?
Well, why the hell do you think I brought that up?
Oh, well, I figured you just got out of bed. You look like you just showered, you peckerhead.
Well, I did. I had been working. I came home when it looked clean for you. So I took a shower and had on the podcast.
All right, let's clear. Nobody cares about us. Let's get to our guest.
I know.
Okay.
Let's get Tommy Reedy in here.
Are you done? Are you done yakking? Okay.
I'm all done.
All right. Without further ado, there's our guy.
Tommy Reedy. Thanks for joining us, Tommy.
Hey, good evening. It's a pleasure.
Good evening. So
happy to be here.
Good. Anybody that watched the GSI live stream or was there saw that Tommy and the family were here in Madera with us with the Felon 2-wheel drive truck. About nice green, just like your the banners are now.
That's because we kind of know what we're doing here. Let's Go Pulling, Massetti. I just want to throw that out there.
Well played, Kinsey. I'm proud of you.
Brian. I think he knows.
Yeah, he knows.
So, Tommy, thank you for joining us, and we really appreciate you coming down to pull with us last November. You're also in the top 20 of the voting for the Pullers Championship for this year. Is that correct?
Yep, that's correct. We're kind of excited about all that, seeing if we can make the top 4.
Very good. We, hopefully some people will see you on here tonight and realize what a great guy you are and go ahead and dial up and vote for you. So if you don't mind, and I think you've watched our show, we like to talk to our guests, get to know them a little bit. So if you don't mind, maybe tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, or to your family. I know your lovely wife, or maybe she's there with you or not, but tell us a little bit about Tommy Reedy outside of pulling.
Okay. I had log trucks. Anyways, I'm out of the logging business. I got rid of all of them. I made one of them into a dump truck. And so I dump truck through the summer off and on when I'm not busy in the shop working on pulling stuff. I also through the winter, I usually build a couple cat motors for semis and sell them. So I've got 2 going on now that I just getting ready to get started on. Got the blocks back from the machine shop, whatnot. One of them sold, one of them's not. Other than that, hanging out with my lovely wife once in a while when she'll have me, and especially when it's time to eat, right?
Yeah. How long have you guys been married, Tommy?
Shit, you asked me that, didn't you? 30 years? Let me ask her.
Ballpark it, yeah.
30,
About
I
30.
think. Maybe going on 31.
Let's hope
Good.
so. I wouldn't ask her either way.
Yeah.
Yeah, just keep this to yourself.
She's
probably
in there. She's in there watching, has her
probably not
phone
watching.
mirrored to the TV, watching us on there now.
Oh, good.
29. All right. I think we could take Jessica's word for it, huh?
Oh, yep, that's my crew chief right there.
Yeah. So very
You were
good.
close. Almost 30.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about your pulling, how you got started, and where you're at now.
So back in the 80s, I think it was 80. Oh, my brother Gene's watching, he'll know. 82, 83, we built a two-wheel drive modified. Built it in the driveway, an old 50 GMC with a torch and a chop saw and a portable welder, and it was small tired, and he ran off to, he didn't run nowhere, I guess. He went to college and went in the military, and so I got to pull and run around with the group that was in the valley over here, Treasure Valley Pullers, and that's with Dick Lee and a lot of old timers. And yeah, they're old timers now. I was the young whippersnapper then, and but then started having a family and got out of it. But I kept the pickup the whole time. It was Old Yeller was the name of it, two-wheel drive, 34 tires. Then we went to big tires, but it pulled. I mean, we were in the Cow Palace and the Kingdom and the Salt Palace and BC Place and all them different places with that. TNT come out in the off season, and we ran around with them a little bit, and then it got a facelift and it's Showdown now, but it's a 1950 GMC chop top and it has big tires. It's modified. My brother has it now and gave it a facelift. Oh, there it is right there.
Is that the one in
he
the
says.
picture? Okay.
Yeah, I had it. We dug it out of the weeds and he stripped it down and painted it back like it was when it went in the weeds. And so that's what we're doing with it now, or he's doing with it now. And we went with a buddy to a pole up here 2 summers ago. And we also went to the Believe pulling sled with the Petros. Went and watched that event in Weiser a couple of times, and come up with a chassis and a motor. And it's a Scott Tedder Hemi. And the chassis was at his place in Indiana, and he built us a motor, and then we went and picked it up last November, something like that. Yeah.
So you've only been running the Felon for about a year?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Our first pull was Father's Day last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, no, we didn't make it to Father's Day. I had it started, but I couldn't keep it running, and we had the prosecutor pick up. So we pulled the prosecutor at Father's Day, but then the next pull around here was the Invitational in Weiser.
Okay.
And we were, last year, Valentine's Day, when we picked up prosecutor, we went down there to Tulare. Yeah, and watched the poll at the in town there at the Tulare Speedway or whatever it was.
Yep.
Yep.
Did you say how you came up with the name Felon? I'm assuming it's based on the prosecutor.
Yeah, because that's kind of where that fell into place, because there was the judge and the prosecutor.
Right.
Right. And it's like, well,
somebody's got to run from them.
Let's go with the Felon, being how there's a prosecutor and a judge already. And then
I'm glad you went that way instead of the executioner.
Yeah, exactly. And then when they said Trump was a felon, it's like, that was even better. When all
That's
that
cool.
junk was going on, but
For sure.
but
great.
yeah.
Now
I never put that together, the prosecutor and the felon, but
Yeah,
it
that's
makes a
good.
lot of sense.
One of the three brothers is a little slower than the other two.
it's you, Kev. You're the
Was that
slow
you,
one.
Kevin, raising your hand?
Yeah, I got that. They were
Crazy Kevin.
insinuating I was a little slower than them.
Oh.
It wasn't an incident.
But once you got it, right?
And now I'll never
Yeah.
forget now.
It's locked in.
Right, locked in.
Now, the four-wheel drive, the prosecutor, is that your wife Candy drives that, right?
Yeah. I drove it once at Father's Day weekend because she didn't have all her proper rigging to wear, and anyways, that was history after that. When she got in the next time, it was, yeah, I wasn't allowed,
Well,
That's how
which
it
is
happened.
good. She likes it a lot.
that definitely helps.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's awesome to be able to do that together and have. I know Jessica and then her husband also goes with you a lot. Is that right? Or
Yep, that's correct.
yeah, well, that's neat.
We got
Obviously-
a big family, and they show up when they can if we're around here local. Well, we went to Coeur d'Alene last year, and I think we had 2 daughters and a son. No, 3 daughters and a son was up there,
Oh, wow.
and a bunch of grandkids.
Cool.
Hey,
How many
Tommy.
grandkids you got?
Hey, Tommy, real quick. I need to interrupt this. This is a Kevin Massetti moment. I've been wanting to use this graphic for Kevin. Like,
I'm glad you finally got a chance.
well, you send me pictures. I'm going to send you. Say it, Kevin. Will you say it for me?
What's that?
Read the screen. Just say it for me out loud.
Have you seen my baseball?
Thank you. All right, back to. I was a little slow but that was for the felon thing. Sorry, I had to.
Oh, you got there. It was good enough.
Yeah, that's literally the first time I put that together. But
Yeah, no,
pretty
that's
brilliant.
why we get those graphics like this.
Yeah,
Hey,
thank you.
John.
Okay, sorry. We continue on. So,
Thanks.
What do you guys have in store for this year besides going and kicking ass at the Pullers Championship?
That going to Nashville, I'm all excited about that. I'm speaking it into existence, so hopefully everybody's listening and makes it
you'd like to invite me?
gets on board, makes it happen.
There you go. We hope so.
Yeah, which we pull with Thames.
Yeah.
We did last year. They got quite a few pulls around here.
Behind me.
Somebody out of California is doing a couple in Nevada, I think.
That's
You
okay.
probably know who that is, don't you?
I've heard of a couple good ones coming that way.
Yeah, we thought about maybe running down there for those.
Behind my camera.
They're not too terribly far from you, are they?
No, Winnemucca's just
If you just
4 hours probably.
Well, that's a green screen, basically.
Yeah.
Cool.
and then-
Closer than us.
I was gonna say you're probably
Yeah.
You're way closer than we are.
Right. We don't have to go over Donner's.
I want to upload. like,
Yeah, no kidding.
I want you to share the Facebook
Hey,
Live.
Jason, you're not muted.
Jason, you should.
Oh, I'm very sorry about that.
It's okay.
So, Kev, what was Jessica talking about there with the prosecutor getting invited to the invitational?
Yeah, they got invited.
Oh, we got a document signed
Yeah,
Jesus, he
no,
signed
it's
it.
legit.
from,
Yeah,
from
yeah.
Kevin.
Legal.
We were telling Brian about it at that meet and greet, the dinner before the Golden State Invitational, and he's like, "You better get that on paper." So Kevin whips out a In-N-Out burger receipt for $125 worth of hamburgers,
Yeah, that was a good day.
and proceeds to write the contract on that. And oh yeah, Candy's got that. I can't believe she don't have it framed yet.
Yeah, that's a legal. That's a legally binding document. So you
Yeah,
guys
well,
are,
that's what Brian was saying. You better get it wrote down because he's going to forget about it.
What are the details of the contract?
yeah,
I think it's open-ended.
yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
Yeah.
Usually my contracts are pretty open ended.
Yeah.
It's
Pretty
like,
cut.
whatever.
Yeah. pretty simple. Don't need to be confused by wording. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, no need for all that business.
No.
Well, we look forward to seeing you back here in Madera in November then.
Yeah.
Simple
and every
enough.
following November.
This is the first invitation, I think.
I think it was.
That was over a year in advance. That was
Yeah.
was pretty good.
That makes us feel pretty special.
Yeah.
Well, you should.
I don't remember how much Kevin had to drink when he was doing all this promoting, but it worked.
Yeah.
We don't keep track of that, Tommy.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, oh, that's the I got you.
It'd be
We
a
just
difficult
wait
thing
for
to do.
we wait for people to show up at the registration trailer with a receipt or a bar napkin or anything that he can write on that
2-ply
says
tissue toilet paper.
Yeah, you
anything
get it.
that'll say
Tommy gets it.
so many pit passes from Kevo or Uncle Kev or whoever. I mean, it could be a dealer at a casino or a waitress. Anybody.
They showed up too. I mean, it's
We know no bounds with our invitations.
Right. You're just waiting to see what the next one's going to be.
Yeah.
yeah, you never know.
Well, cool. Well, anything that we haven't covered, Tommy, that you want to get out there about?
I don't think so. Just everybody keep voting for your West Coast Polars and get some of us to go to Nashville.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's a great event. You'll enjoy it.
It's going to be exciting.
Yeah. Put on by some pretty decent people. Oh.
They say the track's pretty sticky.
Yeah. No, they do a good job with that for sure. Yeah. Well, this is the point where we turn it over to our one and only James, and he's going to take us on a little Facebook Marketplace journey.
Yeah. Tommy, have you seen this part of the show before?
Yeah, I watched it last week.
Okay, good.
And he said to himself, "I'll never get that hour and a half of my life back." But he's back.
2 hours. Who knows?
But you have to watch that, Trevor.
Exactly.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Tommy
gets it.
Tommy gets 1 point already. We're starting
Hold
off
on.
strong.
Yeah,
Read this comment.
Give Tommy
Hey, Brian.
How incredibly good-looking Tommy is on TV.
That's my cousin. He lives down there in California.
Jason, can you see the screen?
I can, yes, sir.
Perfect. Okay, well, Tommy, you've already seen the show, so you know how it works. But for everyone who has not watched before, I'm going to show you a marketplace listing, and the goal is to correctly guess the listing price. The closest answer without going over wins. It's Price is Right rules. You get 1 point for being the closest, 3 points for being exact, and the winner will probably maybe not get a GSI T-shirt. And yeah, it's pretty simple. You'll get the gist of it. And we also would like to invite all of our viewers to play along in the comments. So this first one is a John Deere 4010.
Hey, Trevor, hold on. Or James, hold on a second.
Yep.
I got to play my little clip for you.
Oh, go ahead.
Kenzie's working on a TikTok project right now, so I'm running the board.
Nice.
Is it over?
Yep, it's over. All right, you can talk.
Okay, well, this was built to run in the ECIPA. I don't even know where that is. 9500 hot farm class. It's got a 3-speed transmission. I don't know what type of tires. 466 cubic inch engine built by Riverside Engine. He'll give the specifications for interested buyers only. It was tuned by Joe Bush. It has an Ag Fair Valley fuel system and a Hartz 3x3 turbo. It's got a big air to water intercooler, external brakes, as you can kind of see in this picture down here. And he's got dyno papers for it. Doesn't know how to spell dyno.
Dyno.
Well, but that's spelled wrong.
I spelled dino like a dinosaur.
Well, you know, it's have you guys heard of Ebonics?
Nope.
Isn't that
Yeah,
how they
we've
do
heard
that?
of it.
Steve, like OTTO, like automobile. You've heard those jokes, right?
I haven't, but I think I could probably figure it out.
Hooked on phonics, work for me. Have you seen my baseball?
Yeah, I was going to say that'd be a good time to roll that one. Anyways, it's pretty straightforward. It's a hot farm tractor. We're going to start off with Dad.
Oh man, 48,000.
48.
Whoa.
All right. Uncle Steve.
Man, I've been coming in high on all these tractors recently. I'm gonna come in at 38,000.
38. Gotcha. Uncle Kev.
I have no idea, but I'll say 40.
40. Okay.
And we'll find
Can
out
someone
when-
confirm
Trevor
this?
will find out what the actual price is.
Yeah, is Trevor's phone in view? Or
It's up there on the picture.
He put it, he's a good player.
Okay. Trev.
This is
He's
tuned
literally
by the-
talking to someone right now.
I'm helping Bree with homework.
Homework, guys.
Is this tuned?
Yeah,
by
it's tuned by the Joe Bush.
The Joe
yeah,
Bush.
That's what I was wondering.
No, so for you California guys, but this tractor like pulls like an hour and a half from my house. So these are legit. Hart's Turbo is a big deal. Ag, it's Fair Valley Ag is what he meant. Because maybe he's a good puller, but can't spell real well. And then Hart's Turbo is a big deal. This has got good shit on it, guys.
I feel like we should have let Jason guess first.
Well, I didn't want to do the Kevin Massetti. Well, it's got double tread, got deep cuts there.
Jason,
Firestone.
you're helping Trev out too much.
Oh,
Trev.
my bad.
No, I already knew. Hart's Turbo
I was
is a good
quick.
turbo.
Well, you guys run Hart's Turbos.
Oh my gosh. Can we not get through one listing? Come on, Trevor.
Can I hear what the other guesses were?
A listing, please.
38,
Oh my
40,
gosh.
48.
48, 38, 40.
50.
50. Jason?
50,001.
You son
Love
of
it.
a gun.
Kenzie?
Do 49,700.
That's really
That's
specific.
very specific.
2002
okay.
is going to be the good
We're
one.
going to go to our guest, Mr. Reedy.
50,002.
That's the right guess.
There we go.
Oh,
That's the right guess.
Tommy's going to get put in the little ice box there. I like to put people.
He's already got one bonus point. He's already ahead.
And he's already got a point. Yeah.
The low end here is pretty tight. Is 38,000, Uncle Steve. $50,002 is Tommy, and it's 40,000 actually. Kev nailed it. Absolutely nailed it.
I didn't get it.
He got it dead on.
Is
$40,000.
this that's this idiot.
Hey, James.
Yeah.
We're
And
live
here
on
I am
TikTok.
accusing
James,
Trevor of
we're live
cheating.
on
I'm
TikTok
sorry,
for the
Trevor.
first time ever
It's my
for your
fault.
game.
Yeah.
I want you to say hi to the TikTok world. There's a bunch of people watching
Hello,
on
TikTok.
So tell them to play along in the comments.
Yeah, please play along in the comments. And for those that don't understand
Trevor,
the
I have to
dynamic of this
apologize,
game,
buddy.
Kevin gets it right every time somehow, and Trevor cheats every time and still loses every time.
And I'm apologizing to Trevor because I did accuse you of cheating and I ended up getting it right. So sorry about that.
That was almost an admission of cheating yourself there, Kevin.
I don't really think it was, but
I swear to God, there's zero cheating. But
There's
I
zero
do feel
cheating.
bad about that one. I did accuse you, Trevor, and you obviously did not
I
cheat on that
appreciate
one.
Trevor's dedication to buying an extra phone so that he could put it behind us and make us think
It's
about
incredible.
it.
It's incredible.
I mean,
I know.
this kid is like,
And he obviously threw the
dialed
first
in.
one, so
Well,
Oh yeah, he's got to throw us off. I mean, this is really well done.
Well, Kev
he's
gets
playing
3
chess,
points
not
for that.
checkers here. Yeah.
And Tommy,
Thank you.
1 point for calling Trevor cheater within 5 seconds. So our next listing here.
It's a point
this
for
one
Tommy.
is a custom barbecue smoker truck and trailer combo. This has broken the record for the longest marketplace description I have ever seen. So I will read the entire thing for you. Ready to start a new business? Look no further than this custom smoker truck. It is set up and ready to go for all your entertainment needs. It drives great, and on the back are 4 smoker bays ready to get the party started. With one purchase, you become the barbecue king of your local area. It is a proven business model, as this truck has been frequently requested. So much so that the reason for the sale is because they are upgraded to a bigger rig. The base truck is an Isuzu, but has been modified to resemble an international semi, including the tilt front and smokestack exhaust. The interior features dual bucket seats and wood grain steering wheel. It has been nicknamed the Grill Slayer and is ready for a new home. The exterior graphics are all easily removable decals, so slap your own logo and on and go. It was built in 2014 by students of Hill College out of Cleburne, Texas. Cab is from a male Jeep with sliding doors and was modified to have an international front end. It features a 350 V8 turbo 350 automatic and S10 frame. The smoker on the back was set up to act as both a fifth wheel and bumper pull, so you can pull it with your own truck if desired. The trailer portion is 18 feet long, with the smoker portion being 16 feet. In that area is the smoker, along with a firebox smoker and a charcoal grill. Jack legs are in place underneath for when you need to store it. Stored inside the truck is 2 stainless tabletops, so when you're ready to set up and go to work, people will have a place to go and sit and eat. It is all legal for the road and ready to go. I'm out of breath. I'm not saying any more. Uncle Steve.
I have a problem with this. He describes it as an Isuzu, but no part of that is an Isuzu. It's got a Jeep body. It's got an international front end, V8, and a 350 combo. I'm going to protest this.
S10 frame.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. None of that is Isuzu.
Yeah, there's nothing Isuzu about this.
That's
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
All right. Okay, back to business here. This is a $60,000 rig. You know who we should have on for this one is Paul. Isn't he the smoker?
Yeah, I was gonna say Paul instead of his golf cart smoker.
Well, we want to do phone a friend, but Trevor will use that extra time to cheat, so we're trying not to.
He does it, and he phones a friend every time.
Anthony is the caterer, but Paul is apparently known to pull a smoker with his golf cart or maybe just a grill.
That's right. Both of them could have helped.
Yeah. Uncle Kev?
What'd Steve say?
60.
So I'm going to say 50.
50. Trev?
50,001.
You son of a gun. Trevor.
Jason?
Jason's busy. Let's go to the next person.
Oh. We'll go to Tommy.
14.5.
14.5. I like it.
Tommy
22,000. 22,000.
22,000. Jason, Kenzie?
21,000.
21. Dad? You're the last guess here.
Tommy kind of messed up my plan, but I'm going to go for $100.
Wouldn't it suck if it was 99?
That's pretty low.
Yeah, it would, but I'm confident it's not 99.
It's not 99. It's actually 35, which we had a big spread there. This one's going to go to Jason Schultz, looks like.
Nice job, Jason.
Wow.
I guess of 22,000.
That's a tough one because I think the size throws you off. It's smaller.
It does, and it's a truck and trailer too. It's tough. Anyways,
it's on
Jason,
S10 frame.
Point. Kevin first place, Jason and Tommy tied for second place. Everyone else 0 points. This next listing is this Pro Stock F350. It's got a GTS, I think it's 2007 fiberglass body. It's got a Profab transfer case and a 3-speed Profab trans. It's got an MSD8 ignition box, 1200 CFM carburetor, 485 engine, 13 passes since it was freshened, and it was built and freshened by Advanced Engines in Salina, Kansas. It's got 33 STS tires, 6 passes on it. It's a good super stock truck. You can see there, tilt body. Pretty cool. We'll start this one off with Uncle Kev.
50,000.
50. Once again. Trev?
Man, don't do it again, Trevor.
I really want to do it again. I feel like it's more than 50,000, but
well, then go more, but don't go.
No, I changed my mind. I'm going 38,000.
Oh, I hope it's more.
30. Can I change 35?
$65,000.
Kenzie?
42,000.
42. Tommy?
35.
35. Dad?
60,000.
60. Steve, last guess.
50,001.
God damn it.
50,001. You know, I've noticed something. These Pro Stock trucks, there's a big difference between what we have on the West Coast and what they have on the East Coast, because this one is $75,000.
Oh my God.
Jason clearly knows with a guess of 65. Very good guess. Yeah, it's every time I see one of these pro stock trucks, they are 70,000 minimum every single time.
Huh.
You know,
That
you
would have
could
been
told
good to
us
know,
that, like
James.
2 minutes ago.
Why the fuck would I tell you that?
Just being fair, bro.
It's just a game, Steve. So this next one it's a little bit different. Okay. This is actually not a Facebook Marketplace ad, and it's something that you all have contributed to purchasing. This is a transgender Colombian opera funded by the U.S. Agency for International Development, I believe. It premiered on March 16th, 2022 at 8 p.m. in Colombia. And it is an opera narrating the life of a transgender woman. Work focuses on the process of discovery of Hannah, the protagonist, and her place into the world without following into trite stereotypes or some bullshit like that. This is something that the U.S. government funded, and therefore all of you contributed to. We're going to start this one off with Cheatin' Trev. How much did...
The last line or some bullshit.
Yeah, that wasn't in the description of the play. I had to add that part.
I got that.
I'm just a little confused. What we're guessing how much
the
How much
U.S.
did
spent
the government pay
on this Colombian opera.
Oh, this is a fun new twist on the game, James.
This is interesting.
Yeah, Trev, you're up first.
I hope
Minus
it's negative
$1.
one, but I feel like that's not. God,
I'll tell you. I'll give you guys a real good hint. This is more than I would be willing to pay for this. Trev?
I 250,000.
250. Jason?
So is this the price of a ticket? I've been kind of laughing too hard here.
No. This is how much the U.S. government spent to help create this bullshit, for lack of a better word.
Yeah, I'm gonna say $500,000. I'm gonna say $500,000.
500,000. Kenzie?
I'm gonna do a full million.
Full million. Tommy?
$999
As in
million, almost
million?
a million.
Almost a million.
Almost just
under a million.
Okay, it's a pretty narrow range for you, Tommy. Dad?
This sounds so stupid that I bet you they spent over, I'm going to say 2 million.
2 million. Uncle Steve?
I mean, look, the government doesn't budget for small things, so I think we're all low here. I'm going in at 3.5 million.
3.5 million. Uncle Kev?
I was gonna say 2.5, but now I have to go 3.5 million plus a little bit more. Yeah, whatever. Over that.
3.5 plus a little bit more. Well, fortunately, actually, for you guys and all of our sanities, it was nobody was under the correct answer. It was only $47,000.
Oh, that seems like a steal.
But
a bargain.
I mean, we also got to consider this is a single opera. This isn't like a big production. I mean, this is one opera. Anyways, still $47,000. I get the point.
We had no idea.
$47,000 too many.
That
Luckily,
feels like a
believe
bargain.
that-
I got to be honest with you.
Yeah, definitely a bargain.
Still bullshit.
For the taxpayer, at least somebody was. This is before Elon, though, right? I mean,
Yeah, this is canceled now.
yeah. This was before Doge.
Yes, it was. Anyways, we're gonna go back to marketplace listing. Sorry, I just felt like that was necessary to include.
That was
when I
great.
On it,
I mean, it's less than a pull truck.
the show started.
Try to stay on track, huh? Jiminies.
This one here is a Honda Recon sent to me, I believe, by Justin Van Tassel. And the fenders are reworked to be made out of wood. Other than that, though, I believe it's a near stock Honda Recon 250. Starts and runs good, has electric shifter and reverse. And this guy got it a while back on trade, and he decided to fix it up. It's got no paperwork, which is a great indicator always. Yeah, this one, we're going to start off with Jason.
I'm coming in at one of a kind, 250. I'm trying to do my Kevin Massetti thing here.
Yeah, waste some time, Jason.
I'm gonna go 1,000. Not 1,000. $1,000.
$1,000.
1K.
1,200.
1,200. Tommy?
1,300.
1,300. Dad?
750.
750. Steve?
Well, Kinsey took my answer. I'm going to just come in a little higher than whoever was last one, but 1,350.
1,350. Kev?
Oh, I feel like they're too high. 800. 800.
800. Trev?
802.
Jesus, Trevor.
Hey, he gave you some space, bro.
I did.
You did. Thank you.
801. Yeah.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Well, unfortunately, that didn't matter. Tommy Reed.
Whoa.
$1,300. Dead on answer.
Oh, no.
That's
Direct hit.
point. What's
Teacher,
that?
here I come.
Yes, the one bonus point in the beginning
Tommy's
of the
in
show
the lead. Son of
made a
gun.
big difference.
It has
Tommy
come into
in
play.
first place with 4 points. Trailing just behind is Uncle Kev with 3 and Jason with 2.
Oh, this is awful.
Well, for you, Kev, it is, but
Yeah.
between Tommy, Kev, and Jason, it's pretty much anyone's game. Everyone else, good luck. This next listing here, this is not actually a custom Honda Recon. I didn't change the title, it looks like, but it is a sweet 69 Ford Galaxy on an 85 F350 frame. If you want all the attention when you go anywhere and the comfort and luxury of the 60s while also being the king of the rednecks, this thing is pretty crazy and is just the ticket. Like I said, it's a 69 Galaxy body. This guy doesn't really want to sell it, but he's looking to see what's out there for trade.
Oh.
He did put a dollar amount on it. It's got factory AC, a 429 with an 800 CFM Holley Brawler carburetor, a C6 transmission, and it's on 47s,
Jesus.
20-inch aluminum wheels with 8-lug axles, KC lights, fresh tune-up, always a work in progress, but she starts, stops, steers, and has decent road manners. I love that, decent road manners. I'm going to start using that. It's rear-wheel drive only, unless he finds a good 4x4 big block C6 soon. Not quite sure. I guess it needs a transmission to be
The
4x4.
transmission is a different size to put in. The C6 is a different size for 4x4s.
Gotcha.
To fit the transfer case.
Well, if you pick one of those up, the right size, you'll have a 4x4 machine, and you will be the talk of your neighborhood for better or worse. For the trades, he wants no motorcycles or boats or junk unless it's really amazing. And that's pretty much all there is to this listing. We're going to start this one off with Kenzie. Kenzie, what do you think?
5,500.
5,500. Tommy?
19.5.
19.5. Dad?
11,500.
11.5. Uncle Steve?
15.5.
15.5. Uncle Kev?
How come Trevor always goes after me? He's going to add $1 on.
That's the way I wrote them. You know what? We'll switch it. Trevor, you go.
I was gonna say I feel like Lonnie and this guy could be best friends.
This one looks a little too nice, I have to say.
No, I agree, but he doesn't want junk unless it's really amazing.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, I honestly have no idea. I'm gonna go 8,000.
8,000. Uncle Kev?
That's funny because I was going to go 8,001.
No way.
Crazy.
Really?
What are the other ones?
Yes.
Are they there?
Uh-oh. Who was Jason?
12.5.
12.5. Okay. Pretty good range here. The low end, Kenzie with 5,500. The high end is Tommy with 19.5. It is 15.
Ooh.
Oh, unfortunately for Uncle Steve, just $500 over. That gives it to Jason with 12.5.
Good job,
Which
Jay.
makes the leaderboard just that much more interesting. Tommy, first place, 4 points. Kevin, 3 points. And Jason, 3 points.
This is
Everyone
tough.
else, 0.
I think Brandon's cheating.
Said what?
Brandon is cheating. Oh,
is
he
he
said he
commenting?
sent it to you. Never mind.
Oh, yeah. Brandon sent this one to me. Thank you, Brandon, for sending this.
Thanks.
This game used to be so original. James would research his own game, but now he's kind of sold out. People
Sold
sending
out?
listings now.
What the hell you mean? I got
I'm just
people
messing.
doing my work for me.
I know. That's what I meant. Yeah.
Oh, that's called efficiency, Jason.
He's just delegating.
Yeah, I'm delegating.
Yeah, my bad.
So going into our last listing, Jason, I almost deducted a point from you there, but I didn't.
Yeah, well, weird. James is no longer in the game. I could do this without him. James is out of the penalty box.
Sorry about that, Jason. Didn't mean to
you're
get
welcome.
out of line there. Tommy, again, first place, 4 points. Kevin, Jason tied for second with 3 points. If either of them get this listing correct, we're going to have to go to a tiebreaker, which I hope we don't have to do because I don't have anything prepared. Anyways, as a reminder, our very last listing is always $1,000 or less, with the idea that it could be talked down potentially to $569 to potentially participate in a derby of sorts, more of a race though. This one here is a Ford Torino 77 hobby stock. Now, this one's a little bit different. This isn't a turnkey ready to go car. It just needs some reassembly. As you can see there, it's got the motor. It comes with actually 2 transmissions. It's already has a roll cage installed, huge plus. It's got a brand new power steering pump. And if you couldn't tell, the car has been to the track. And it is 95% there. All you have to do is put the motor and trans in. And it's got extra tires, parts, whatever that means. But it's already got a number on the side. That's pretty sweet. If you ever go through a transmission,
34.
One of them is rebuilt. The other is working, whatever that means. Yeah, it's a rebuilt motor. It's pretty much ready to go. It's just the last 5% that you need, which is.
Okay, I have a question about the race. If you bought this and it was over 569, but you sold the second transmission,
I'm saying that's totally legal.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, because I think
it's just whatever you have
being
into the car.
creative and entrepreneurial, you should be rewarded for that. Tommy, we're going to start this one off with you. This is a very important guess for you to keep the lead here.
Yeah.
800.
Ooh, that's a good guess.
800 flat.
800, yeah.
Okay, Dad.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to go with 750 on the nut.
Okay.
750 on the nut.
Steve?
I feel like this has got to be up at the high end here. I'm going to go $900.
900. Kev?
Oh, I hate to do it. What did Tommy say, though? 800?
You said 800, yeah.
And I got to stay in the game.
Yeah.
So if I don't, I got to go. Oh, Tommy, I'm sorry, buddy. I got to go 801 and hope that it's 801.
That's it.
Okay, well, he went 801. Cheating trap. 0 points, by the way.
802, please.
802, sure.
Trevor,
Jason, this is
I'm
a
in the
big guess.
game, dude.
Very
Me
important.
800.
Okay. You know, Jason, mathematically speaking, you now cannot win. Just putting it out there.
It's fine.
Anyways. Okay. Kenzie?
Let's do 725.
725.
He could still beat Kevin even if he doesn't win, right?
What's that?
He could still beat Kevin if he doesn't win. He'll get second place.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah.
Just can't
Can
win.
I go 800 then?
You know what, Kev?
You're locked
you
in.
can go 800. I'll let you go 800 because the actual guess is 999.
Hey, is that me?
Uncle Steve, 1 point. Technically a third place finish. Kevin, Jason tied for second, and our guest, Tommy, very strong performance.
Wow.
4 points.
Well done.
And
Congratulations, Tommy.
just goes to show how much I value acknowledging that Trevor cheats, because otherwise this would have been a three-way tie.
Guys, obviously I don't cheat. I got 0 points this game.
Well, obviously you suck at it, clearly. But anyways, congratulations to Tommy. We will definitely be getting you a GSI T-shirt because you're not a family member, so we feel obligated.
You actually get the shirt, Tommy.
He will actually get the shirt. You've won probably 7 less times than Uncle Kev, but you're going to have one more shirt from this show than he does.
One more than me.
Yep. Anyways, that'll do it for tonight's marketplace. Thank you all for joining me and having me. Yeah.
Well,
congratulations.
First of all, thank you, James, for doing that. But is this the first time a guest has ever won?
No. Kevin Lucas has won.
Oh, yeah.
That was way back. That was one of the first. I'm sure there's been a few others.
Oh, Jessica, you must not have heard. We don't guarantee the size nor the year of the shirt.
No, this one
Maybe
we're
a
gonna
medium.
get pretty close.
Well, we're gonna do it right this time. Okay.
Well, we're gonna get it pretty close. I said.
Okay. Pretty close.
And Tommy,
and
what
this will be made.
size T-shirt do you wear?
Here's that document, Brian.
Oh,
He
sweet.
went and dug it out.
He's got it. Let's see that.
Jason, can you blow Tommy up there?
Close.
Yeah,
Almost.
the other Tommy.
One with a little more hair on his head. There you go.
Let's see that rascal. Okay.
Here we go.
From-
It's it's backwards.
No, that's good. It's
No,
good. From
You want me to
Uncle
read
Kevin.
Does that say prosecutor?
Oh yeah.
Does
I
it?
think it says
Or
And
whatever
whatever-
else
say at
you
the
wanna
bottom?
bring.
It says prosecutor and whatever else you'd like to bring.
Yeah.
does it
Wow.
say prosecutor.
From
I
Uncle
don't know if it
Kevin.
says prosecutor.
Might say
Oh, it might say
Yeah.
something else.
GSI 2025 open invite for prosecutor and whatever else you'd like to bring.
Wait, let's
I
see
read
that again, Tommy. Let's see the
prostitute.
front again real quick. Yeah, that's the
No,
prosecutor.
Here's C.
Prostitutor.
I think Kevin was asking you to bring.
You
No,
see,
it
you
works.
see Uncle on there?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
I love it.
Sometimes the spelling's not the best, but the intention's there.
That's
Mhm.
what counts. That's called shorthand.
Yeah. Tommy, were you also the one in the? You have like a Ford, a 1-ton Ford.
Yeah, that dually.
Oh yeah, the red one there. Yeah, when we were
Right.
back, we were going to lunch that day when Brian they all provided the lunch, and we jumped in the truck and it was facing the wrong way, so we started backing up,
Oh yeah.
and it was about probably half mile, I don't know, through all that stuff, and you were coming out towards us, but we were just going backwards, and then pretty soon we see the truck in front of us just stops, turns around, and starts backing up, following us
That's-
in reverse, and that was very
that,
classy
that
move.
was me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was cool.
I wanted to be like the cool kid.
Oh, that was neat.
Very good. Well, Tommy, we appreciate you joining us tonight.
Is it really on an In-N-Out receipt, Tommy?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Show them the front of it. How many burgers are on there?
That was a lot. I think we had
There's
20 something.
20 cheeseburgers,
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
3 doubles, 1
Yep.
double, 14 fries, $200 cash tender, $33.40 change.
Yeah. Sounds about
Yeah.
right.
So we need your daughter Jessica to laminate and frame that And that has to become something. We're going to do something with this, Massetti.
Both sides, because that's pretty
This
badass
is
on
authentic.
both sides. Yeah.
It ain't every day you get a In-N-Out Burger receipt with a
That's
contract on the back.
That's right.
For
You
the
need to
front.
save that.
Yeah.
Well, hang around with Uncle Kev and you never know.
Oh, he's an exciting dude, especially after the lights go out.
Yeah, he'll give away all of
right.
Brian's stuff. Brian, he loves to give away Brian's stuff. So it's all good.
Well,
Oh, shit.
somebody
Yeah,
else will do it.
Appreciate you having me on. This is exciting and means a lot.
I feel like we would do a disservice if we didn't mention the awesome Pullers Championship coming up in May in Nashville, Illinois, at the Holzhauer compound. And if you went to the pullerschampionship.com, you can vote for Tommy Reedy and Donnie Sullivan and Brant's uncle, but also has a two-wheeler. I forgot his name. But anyways, I'm sure there's one other guy you could vote for. But make sure you vote for Tommy Reedy with the Felon. And it is a great show. Tommy, you will enjoy it. Jason and crew puts on one hell of a show, hell of an event. So anyways, pullerschampionship.com.
Yeah, get out and vote.
You can vote until February 9th for round 2. If
Yep,
you
once a
click
day.
that start button, you put in today's date, you put in your email, jason@beermoneypulling.com. Oh, first and last name first. Now, Jason, I didn't really know that was your email, but use Jason's and now just start voting away.
Don't use mine because they'll catch
Don't
you.
use
You
his.
want- they use one email address a day. So.
Right. So right there, click on the Felon.
Bottom
Then
right.
down.
Right there.
Did we get it?
I already voted once today.
Oh, he already voted too, but you get the
got
click
my
through.
vote.
Anyways, that was a good tutorial of how to do it. Thank you, Jason, for showing us how to do that. Anyways,
There's my sweetheart.
Andy, how are you?
Oh, Mrs. Reedy's in. Hello.
She has her prosecutor red vest on. I like that.
Yeah.
She's definitely going to be in the news this year.
Oh, good.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing you again in November, if not sooner. Hope maybe even in August August. We'll head to Nevada. Love to have you guys join us.
That's what we're thinking.
Yeah, Winnemucca is a fun one if you can make it to that.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
There's usually some napkin invitations that get passed around at that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the better events for.
The later it gets, the more invitations are written.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So these are people that
We had a lot of fun in Madeira.
Good.
It's good
Yeah,
to hear.
it was, meeting everybody and
Actually watching.
Jason and Kinsey down there and the rest of the Massettis and the participants and
Tommy brought home a trophy.
I met Donnie Sullivan down there. I met him too. Yep.
Yep. All right, we really appreciate you guys making the trip to come down here and be a part of it. And we're looking forward to keeping growing that event and keeping things moving.
Yep. Sounds like a good time.
Definitely. Well,
thanks for coming on, Tommy.
We do
Thanks,
definitely
Tommy.
appreciate it. And boys, thank you guys for everything you're doing here. And Jason and Kinsey, thanks for giving us the platform for an hour on Monday nights. Appreciate it.
We love it. We love it. We like being done in an hour too.
Yeah.
We love it. So it's
Look for us in Nashville, Illinois in May.
I hope so. I hope you make it. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, everybody get out there and vote.
It won't
Vote
be
every
for
day.
lack of trying, that's for sure.
That's for sure. Awesome.
Yeah.
Have a good night, everybody.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night.
Let's make some noise. Good running. John Deere, Animal Deep Iowa coming up. We got one right behind you.